What's up and welcome back to the Kind of Funny Gamescast for Wednesday, July 17, 2024. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes. I'm joined by the Big Daddy himself, Greg Miller.
Hello.
The Lock, Roger Picorni.
Yeet.
And the Nitro Rifle, Andy Cortez.
My PC at home, number one on the list.
No.
Rank S.
Yeah?
No.
You think so?
Rank S, yeah.
What
smelly.
type? Oh, stinky, Andy. What PC do you have? Is it the NZXT?
Yeah, I got that big chunker NZXT.
That thing's
He's got a
hot.
gateway.
That thing is real hot.
That thing is wide, too.
Yeah?
Oh, man, it is so wide. Let me tell you, Tim.
Love it.
Tell him.
Wide.
Do you like that or not like it?
It's wide. It's wide.
Remember, this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with the Kind of Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free. You can watch us record them live, and you get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be part of the show, you can submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. A little bit of housekeeping for you.
Housekeeping.
Some good stuff today. Today, you've already gotten the Nintendo World Championship review talk on Kind of Funny Games Daily on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services. Up next, Greg and Mike are going to play more of that EA College Football 25. And if you're a Kind of Funny member, you get today's Greg Way, which is Barrett talking all about Season 1 of Star Wars The Acolyte. And then later in the afternoon today, we are doing our Deadpool 2 rewatch in review. So you can check that out if you're a Kind of Funny member. Very excited to hang out with the boys and talk to them about Deadpool 2. And Greg, you have some stuff to talk about too.
I sure do. Andy,
Oh, man.
we don't like giving employer reviews on camera, but sometimes... No, I'm kidding. We're doing another call-in show, another voicemail show. We need you guys to call in. We want your video game hot takes so we can either tell you, hey, these are on the money, or you're a big dummy. We need you to call in to 573-203-5374. Of course, that spells out Kind of Funny. And then it doesn't. I like how you bought it for a second. We should. I can pick whatever number I want. I should probably go do that.
That was crazy.
Anyways, 60 seconds or less. It's like when you called in trying to say I had bad video game takes, but you didn't have any evidence. These need to be your video game hot takes so we can say, yeah, that's good, or no, that's bad.
I can't wait. That's gonna be a great episode.
573-203-5374.
Feels kind of funny.
Smells kind of funny.
And thank you all for making our dreams a reality, you beautiful Patreon producers. Carl Jacobs and Delaney Twining, you truly are the best of us. Today we're brought to you by Harry's and Greg Miller's children's book, Portillo the Wiener Dog Thinks He's a Manatee. But we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's start with the topic of the show. Today, we are ranking video game consoles by looks.
Yes.
Everybody, by looks. Surface level takes on some of the consoles that have existed, some of the greats, some of the poors.
The peas.
You know what I mean?
Poors.
You know, some of these consoles, Greg, they've been through it. We're going to talk about what we think they look like. Some good, some bad, and everything in between. But there are some rules that I want to express very clearly to everyone listening right now at home or at this table. All right? Controllers do not factor into the looks of the console. Also, this is based solely on physical design. We're not talking about the software. We're not talking about the features. None of that shit. Ports, we might talk about ports.
Oh, okay.
You know
I
what
like
I mean?
that. I like that.
But we're talking about how this thing looks. And that's it. And more than that, no pure handhelds. So the Game Boys, get out of here. Switch, welcome on in. You know what I mean?
Love it.
Greg, I
Welcome
was
on in.
already waiting to put that blue Vita way the heck up there. It's
Yeah.
like Sony's just hardware is the best looking stuff, except for the most recent one. That's fine. We'll talk about
Before we
All
get
right,
too
all
far away
right.
from it, well, first off, you already know that's incorrect. Thanks to a little show called Game Showdown. Maybe it was kind of feedy back then. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, you know.
More importantly,
People
I
also
can
voted
now.
in
I
Trump
have an
while
easy way to
something's out there.
remember the number the rest of your life. All right. If you ever want to call Kind of Funny, it's 573-20-FLESH. 573-20-FLESH.
20 flush. 20 flush.
20 flesh.
Thank you,
everybody.
marketingninjas.com that translated the number.
Oh,
We could have been also 573-20 elf pie.
I like elf pie more.
Yeah, well, I like flesh.
Both are bad options.
Wait, I don't understand. What? How is it that?
So,
Yeah.
in the olden days, when you had a phone,
Yeah.
the buttons had little letters underneath each number. So you could tell somebody your number was,
Yeah.
whatever. So I took the number we have.
Okay, I thought you were changing our number to be kind of
No,
funny.
no,
Got it. Because I was like, wait, wouldn't it be funny? Not
and or
flesh.
Satan chose 573 20 flesh.
20 flesh, everybody.
20 flesh.
That makes
Maybe
sense.
God, though.
You didn't do enough Catholic school. All right, a lot of conversations about Jesus' flesh, and I ate it.
Yeah.
I ate it up weekly.
I used to steal it from church and eat it at home.
Oh my God!
I think it's
and
important.
that was like unconsecrated flesh. So
The
that was
wafers-
even eviler.
The
You know
wafers
what I
are
mean?
so good, man. No, we don't need this.
Why wouldn't you baptize your baby? He could turn into this.
Let's get to ranking these consoles, everybody. Of course, we're turning to tiermaker.com as we are going to look.
We are giving us so many great .com shout outs today.
Tiermaker.com to check out all the different consoles here. We might need to add a couple if we would like throughout it, but remember, we're not doing handhelds here. Barrett, can you scroll down for a second? Here we have a list.
Jesus Christ.
A list of all the consoles.
A lot of handhelds, too, here,
Yeah,
so-
so
We're not doing
we'll skip
handhelds.
them.
We
So
already
we're
know
gonna
all the
skip
PlayStation ones would go top.
them. We're going to start at the very beginning here because we might not have all played all of these consoles,
Yeah.
but we sure as hell can judge this shit out of how they
Oh,
work.
this is one of the things we lost as a society. We all became empathetic. And me and Andy can't go around and just judge Roger by his looks anymore. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to have some inanimate objects that I can go, yeah.
Wokeness.
Oh my God, wokeness ruined podcasting.
Ruined it.
You know
Back
what
in
I
the
mean?
day, oh my gosh.
So as we go through this,
Back in
we're-
Gamescast, we would have torn you a new one. Look at this lanky man.
oh God, we're going to put them into the tiers, whether it's S tier, A tier, B, C, D, or F.
Got it.
All right. And in those tiers, we're going to have to rank them. We're going to have to make sure things are ordered correctly. So whatever is on the left, that's number one.
I
baby.
like that.
That's number one.
I like
all right?
playing Elden Ring recently with Mike, and he was like, "Yeah, but like the whole S tier thing in some games." I was like, "Mike, this don't act like S tier something that was made last year that we all just jumped on board of. It's been around forever. Don't act." I'm not sure about that.
I mean, when did S tier come about? It was
I
around
feel like
the
the first
same-
time I heard it was like MVC or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Devil May Cry or some shit.
Oh,
For me,
yeah,
I
you're right.
remember
Wasn't it in Metal
distinctly.
Gear?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, but it's like it was, but I think that it's also like when you realize it's a thing, if that makes sense. Where for me it was Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, Crazy Taxi
Yes,
for me
you're
too.
right.
We were
You're
all
right.
playing Crazy Taxi, and I remember when like, oh man, Adam can get an A rank. Can anybody do better? And then we got an S rank. Like, what the fuck is this?
What is the origin of S rank? A ranking originating from academic grading in Japan used to describe a level superlative to grades such as A and B, etc. May be used in real or fictional tournaments or ranking lists such as martial arts fights in fiction, video games, or tier lists.
I love that. I love that.
You know, we talk so much about the S, but we don't talk enough about the E.
Well, the
getting left
E,
out.
there's no E. No, it's just, I mean,
it's just so sad.
Grade school decided to remove it. I
Yeah,
don't get
That's
why.
fucked up. How are you going to teach these kids the alphabet and then just fuck it up immediately?
And complete is
Because
what it
F
stood
means
for.
fail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
D doesn't mean anything.
Dummy.
Dirty dick.
Dirty dick.
Dirty dick.
That's a D plus.
Dick dummy.
Let's get the fuck into this, everybody. The Atari, the Pong Atari, the original Pong Atari.
See, now this is weird. This
Yeah.
has controllers in it. Are we just pretending the controllers don't
Okay.
exist, or this is just all in one?
No, because this is what the console is. I
Sure.
think it's different because, like, literally, as far as I know, it only plays Pong.
Yes.
It looks like a cool little like Apple iHome boombox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you
Sure,
get
sure.
you'd win in like a white elephant
Yeah,
thing
Yeah.
at Christmas.
Yeah. This one's not singing to me. I'll tell you that. I don't think that it's like the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not high. I motion for a D here. I don't want to
think
interact with this.
The reason I will give it a C is because the one after that, which is the Telstar whatever Pong version of that
Colortron.
looks even worse. Like that looks like a worse version of this. So I'm like, where do we go?
See, are you sure there? Because I look at this little Telstar Colortron
The Coleco.
and I'm like, that I at least can understand how it feels. You know what I mean?
It just
That also feels like the start of, hey man, wood finish is the shit. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna want your station wagon to have wood finish designs on your door.
yeah.
I'm not too picky about this. I can put that the Atari one in D, and I can put the Coleco one in D.
I think they both go D.
Okay.
I
I'm
say
down.
I would say The Atari one goes D, and the Coleco I would put to C.
Wow, I think the Coleco looks worse.
It's
It
got
looks cheaper.
style to it, at least. It's got fucking style.
Yeah, but it
to
looks
at
like one of the
least.
toys that I would get like from McDonald's that would just like I'd play with too much.
Because you
and
were
fall
born
apart.
in 2005.
I'll bring
was,
up like
I
a
was.
bigger picture.
Yeah, I'm
just
gonna
for
Google
people
it on
to
my
see,
end.
because like I think
at
the
that.
concept of the Telstar is like cooler, but yeah, I think I
think I'm with Greg.
Roger. It looks cheap.
I mean, I like that the first one looks like the Transformer Soundwave that
Sure,
turns
of
into
course,
the
but you can't
cassette
bring
player.
that in there. You can't bring in your
But you
personal
can't because we're talking about
biases.
looks. And I think Soundwave looks cool.
You can't bring in your opinions.
First off,
Disgusting.
Roger had a much better image pulled up over here, and that's not a knock on you, Barrett. For the record, I'm just saying, like,
But that's but that's
It looks
what
like
it looked like.
it looks like you downloaded that image on that console right there.
But that's what it looked like back then. You know what I mean?
There
Eyes
it
were-
is.
There
See,
we
like
go.
the concept is there.
The
but,
Brady
like,
Bunch
the
playing
wood
it.
print plastic like
Yeah, and, like,
tape-on
stickers.
thing.
Like, those look
that
like
looks
stickers.
awesome.
This thing would have
That's
been
not wood finish.
the shit if it used all of the colors on the bottom left. If it used the red, yellow, and
Yes.
orange more, man, it
afraid.
would have been the coolest looking
were
thing.
afraid.
So look, this thing's ugly. I think we can all agree.
Disappointing.
But I think that there's something to the form of function of this thing compared to the other one, because I feel like it being like a Pong type experience, right? You're 1v1, you're sitting there, you're turning that dial. It being centered, I think, goes a long way compared to this the first one there.
You also
no
like
personality, ugly. Sides are too
It's
big.
minimalistic, but again, I'm not too passionate about this. I will let this go to D.
two dirty dicks right
Two
there.
dirty dicks, everybody.
2 DDs, I'm telling you. But then now we need to decide what goes first and what goes second.
Coleco goes
Oh,
in
we're
front
doing
of
that.
Pong, or I'll walk off this set. I already told you that was a C console right there. In terms
I mean,
of looks.
I agree with these, and mainly just because I don't like the offsetness of the Atari Pong.
Fine. I'll let it be. I'll let it be.
Let it be.
I don't think you can do it. Oh, you can do it. Never mind.
Moving on then, the Magnavox Odyssey.
Sick fucking name. S tier just for that. That's a cool name.
It really is.
It's in the headline. My look.
It's a good name though.
Can we get a bigger one?
Roger only ever follows the rules.
Barrett, I think this is going to be a trend, by the way.
Roger only ever follows the rules correctly, Greg.
Yes,
okay,
exactly. I do my homework. This does not look like a console. This looks
Like
like
a vacuum.
It looks like a medical device.
It looks like a vacuum, a medical device, or you don't know how long this cord is. You toss it in the pool and it eats all the algae and stuff on the bottom. It's one of those
Whoa,
pool
that's a-
cleaners.
I
right
was
there.
gonna say that this is how you knocked out Mike TV from the Willy Wonka movie.
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
I love this.
I do too. I don't hate it,
I
yeah.
love the way it looks.
It looks like a place that you would like file things, and I think
No.
that's just because
Yeah,
of like
just-
these weird cartridges. And honestly, for the time, I like it because then you could be sneaky, and your parents are like, "Oh, are you playing whatever the fuck this thing is called, the Magnavox?" It's like, no,
Odyssey?
this is just a filing cabinet.
I hate this thing. I hate this thing
I
for
hate this.
a multitude of reasons. One, I thought it was white and black, which would have made it a lot cooler. The white and brown, nah.
We love wood paneling, dude.
I know.
It's
but
the
I
late
don't.
70s,
I
early
don't.
80s.
This looks like something straight the hell out of the game where you're trying to fight
Bagels.
that one lady. People who made that other game that Barrett loves. They made the part 2.
Psychonauts
Persona?
2.
Oh, you guys are so close right now, though. Think about it. Think about it for a little bit. Think about it for a
Do
little
you
bit.
remember-
Arcane made
Oh,
it.
Okay.
Dishonored?
No.
Deathloop?
Deathloop.
There we go.
This looks like Deathloop.
Figured it out.
What
You all won the
journey.
trivia challenge.
What I don't like about this is it looks over designed, and
Yeah.
I feel like it's easily breakable. And I don't like looking at something and thinking it's easily breakable when it's coming to
I-
technology. The cables don't look good, and the flimsy cartridges and the way that the cartridges or whatever the fuck these things are get into there. Nah, bad design.
And I'm looking for play, right? When I'm looking for design in game consoles, I want to look at it and be like, I can play a game on that. And I understand it's stealthy, like, hey, it's a black box, whatever it is, but like to me, like that does not scream play.
Yeah.
So I'm giving that F tier.
F tier.
I think
I go
that's
F.
F tier.
That's insane.
That's not
I
a
go
console.
F.
That's not a game
I
console.
would give this C.
I would say C as well.
Wow.
This is clearly something that Magnavox is like, hey, we want something to look cool on your shelf as well. We are thinking about
they fucked up.
what the
They
look
fucked
is.
up.
So I would give this a C.
Wow,
Infinite Corpse
Guess we're
agrees.
D.
Langley M. Neely stopped eating children to agree. Because he's like a giant bug person. You
Oh,
know, we talked about, have you
okay.
seen this?
No,
There's a
I haven't
narrative.
seen
I've
this.
been, he's like Slender Man.
Oh, I like that.
Langley
I've been doing.
and Neely, just say the word pickle if you want us to drop this bit ever and let us know.
That's accurate, Langley. And Langley always says in the chat he's having a great time. But if it's ever not a great time, let us know,
Yeah,
Langley.
let
You
us
know
know.
we're having fun.
I
give it a C.
Chat saying C. I guess we go C.
Yeah!
We got outvoted here.
Fuck.
It is what
Chat,
it is.
you're so smart.
It is what it is.
Insane.
Because it feels overwhelmingly C here.
Damn. Okay. I'll let it be.
we're moving on then to
Atari 2600.
I would say we're starting to get a little bit more like, all right, cool. These are actual real consoles
Yeah.
to some extent. The Atari
Sorry, I missed it.
2600.
Where did the Magnavox go?
C.
Thank you.
Remember when Lady Gaga wanted the monster claws? That was her thing.
Rah, rah, ha, ha, that?
Well, no, there was like I mean, I don't know enough about it,
Me neither.
but I know there was a whole thing of monster claws with Lady Gaga. Bear, Google monster claws.
Can we rank that? Let's have that.
Monsties. Well, she calls her fans little monsters, right? Something like that.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Mon-
Yeah, so here we
Monstars.
go. The Atari 2600. Now, I feel like this to me, everything that we've just been saying of like, oh, the wood paneling. This is just the example of the wood paneling actually kind of working. This has transcended to become iconic. I still don't love it because I don't like wood paneling. But to Roger's point, you play with this thing.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Dude, this is an A tier for me. This is a gorgeous console. I mean, I don't have any nostalgia for this, of course, but like I look at that and like especially those little knobs right there, the little switches. It's like, man, I want to touch that.
I
Like
wanna
I
touch
want to
them.
flip those. It feels like I'm using something from the future. Like I'm like piloting some type of spacecraft, but I'm also playing video games. Like I love the way that the cartridge goes into that. So, yeah, I think that's an A tier. That's a beautiful console.
When we did that sponsored Atari stream, I was so blown away by what those switches and knobs actually do.
What do they do?
Like they would
Select the game.
they would change the game mode. Oh. So like you would get the console, you would have the cartridge, right? And you had to like, if it was an 8-in-1 game, you had to have the right kind of thing in the back of the cartridge to make it select like, if I have these 3 down, but this one up, that means I'm playing tennis or whatever.
Yeah,
You would
gotcha.
pop that sucker in, and then these things would like not only change the mode, but also change the color scheme of the game you were playing. Shit is freaking wild. So not only is that insanely cool, a cool feature, but it's like it's built into the hardware, which is part of just the look. Those knobs, those switches aren't just there for decoration, but they look dope as hell. I would still give this a B though.
How come?
I would give it a B. I think once we get the other consoles in here, like by the end of it, in about an hour, I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna be like, ooh, I shouldn't have put that in B because these consoles are Bs, or these consoles are A's, and I would have this one
As
a
the
little bit
pool
lower.
starts to fill.
Yeah. Like I think right now, if I were to like just think right now in the moment, yeah, put that A, fuck it. But once the list starts to fill out, it'd be like, oh, we shouldn't have put that A. It doesn't
I'm with
belong
Andy
there.
where I think it's a B. I think it's a very nice console. I
Yeah.
do like it. It's simplistic and stylish in its simplicity. But I would still put it as B because I think, yeah, you have to leave more room for where we're going with this.
I think there's room for as many A's as we want. I think this is an A. I feel like it's not only classic, it's the best use of the wood finishing that you can possibly have. The Atari logo is awesome, and I think the
Yes.
placement on it is really cool. And yeah, the functionality of being able to see the cartridge and see what game's in there. And like, again, we keep saying this, but it's fun to interact with and taking the cartridge in and out. I want to do that. This gets an A.
Where are we
Yeah,
at?
I
gotta
think
see
Tim makes
what
a
the
very
chat-
compelling argument, and so I would give him the high ground, and I will repeal my B.
I'm down to give it an A as well. I'm not worried about the amount of A's we'll have. I know that once we get there,
You're
we'll be
worried about the A-hole.
like, this doesn't belong with the other A's though. Like, let's be real, you know.
But then
Yeah,
it'll
we'll
just
see.
be the lowest A or something.
Well, we could always prune
We
at
could
the
always
end.
change.
Let's prune
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end. We can leave that
Have a little
open.
prune session.
So there we go. Atari 2600 at A. And yeah, I imagine it'll be a low A at the end of the day, but an A nonetheless. Then we get to the Atari 5200.
Disgusting.
Atari 5200.
Fucking
The
nasty.
thumbnail disgusts me, and then this bigger picture disgusts me
God,
as well.
it's what a nasty looking
I
console.
googled it. It just looks like a cell phone. It looks like the
Yeah.
like an office type phone that everybody had back in the day.
Yeah.
Like every place you've ever worked had this, office cell phone.
I say
Reminds me
I'll
of
start
the
the bidding at
PS3
D.
Slim.
I'll start the bidding at D.
This thing's stinky.
See, I think there's worse ones to come.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. This
So
is
I
a
think
D.
this is just a
It's a
mess.
D by definition.
Yeah, and I think for the time, maybe it was something, right? Like
But that was a bad time.
yeah,
then.
for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I can see where they're going for, like, oh, this is more modern. This is
This
more
thing is
style.
full.
Yeah, exactly.
This thing is all
This is
black.
for
It's
the-
got some silver
This is for the
accents.
modern. Was it the 80s? I don't know.
If I was to cover up the console and look at the handheld, I'm like, ooh, you're telling me something right now. I'm kind of liking the look of this little joystick
just like
device.
the colors.
Now let me scroll over and see what the rest of it looks like, and then I get disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think this is a D because
This is a D for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think it's an F.
It's a
Agreed.
PS3 Slim.
Then we got.
Well, so and then anyways, in the D's, I would put it at the end of the D's.
Yeah, I agree.
Where I think
Yeah.
again, Coleco and Atari Pong
They did
tried
something.
something.
They did try.
You know what I mean? They did something. They said we're gonna pick a style and run with it.
I like that.
It didn't work, but I appreciate it.
Then we got the ColecoVision, which I don't know if I've ever actually seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've heard Jared Petty say it 3 times.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think there's a Family Guy joke about it, right? I remember that.
Gary Whitta said it a couple times as well.
I mean, Gary Whitta's got that. Oh, I was writing about this when I was 32 years old.
This looks like when you would see
Ooh.
businessmen walking around with a phone in their briefcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of looks like.
This is a travesty. There's too much going on, and none of it's cool or fun. I don't want to interact with this. The ColecoVision logo is appalling.
Here's what I really, really hate about it. Let me point out the things that I hate about this
Please.
fucking thing. Because I like the practicality of having a slot to hold the handheld devices, the little
Agreed.
controllers.
Agreed.
I fucking hate the font of the numbers on that handheld device.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that font is atrocious. It
I
doesn't.
also-
It does not belong. It's a VTech fucking phone font.
I'm with you. I like the idea of, it'll have a utility, it'll have function. We can put the controllers in there. But then having the spiral cord coming
the problem.
out of it looks so cluttered and ugly.
And it immediately negates any props I would give it for, the controllers are there and they have a nice place to go. Immediately, those things are getting tangled, and you're going to have the worst time ever. You're going to spend more time untangling these things than you're actually playing the game.
I
Fuck
think-
the ColecoVision.
Fuck the
It looks like a
ColecoVision.
tape deck with a phone in it. It's
I-
fucking weird.
It looks
Yeah.
like too many things.
I think it really was Coleco. It feels like they are trying to legitimize this niche little interest that some people have, and it looks like them trying to appeal to the wider audience and be like, look how serious this device is. We deserve to be taken serious, and I just don't like the look of it.
Meldo Antu says it looks like a bomb you need to defuse. That's
yeah,
it absolutely does.
So where are we putting it here? Because this is the one that angered me the most.
Honestly,
I
the
would
font,
say-
I would give it an F.
I'm right there with you. That's the first one where I've seen it. I'm like immediately like it gives me anxiety the way it looks. So yeah,
Yeah.
F.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I have the nostalgia a little bit because my dad had one and I found it underneath and I was like play with them. Like,
You
this is
pushed all the porn
I'm like-
magazines out of the way.
like this is the weirdest thing ever, but looking at it objectively, it is disgusting to look at. But I will say I like the little grooves. I like the way that they designed that, and I think it is kind of graphic in that sense. But yeah, everything else.
I definitely like that as well to kind of break up the monotony of just like
Yeah.
a straight flat surface or whatever. But I just really hate that font they're using, and it looks like something that they would use in this television show Severance as like an old school sort of device.
for sure, for sure.
Severance
Fuck
would
the
be so
ColecoVision.
much cooler, though.
You're right. You're 100%
Next up, we have the Fairchild Chattel F.
Whoa!
All right, I hate those controllers.
Interesting.
You
I like them for one
look
reason.
Look at them and you can tell how those feel in your hands and in other places. You know what I mean?
I think having the word child in a fucking product just immediately gets you on an FBI list. Somewhere.
I don't like this. This looks like some grandma shit.
I
Yeah.
hate it.
This is like you go to your grandma's house and she's like, I have video games.
The yellow reset button too.
Yeah.
Like what's the deal with
The,
that?
the handles look very much like some 70s workout fitness thing that everybody's
that's what
parents
it
were
looked like.
buying.
Yep.
Yeah, but even like the fact that it has to say insert cartridge just shows how
Well, most of them say that.
I know, but like
it's
it
not
is-
clear where
yeah.
it goes.
So the fact that they have to say that so clearly, it's not a well-designed console.
You know
I
what the
don't
top
like
of this could use, Raj?
What?
The little grooves from the ColecoVision. Look how flat and boring that looks.
Yeah, but I also don't like the way that it's like. What shape is that? Oh,
Parallelogram.
Trapezoidal,
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of from the
like
front
it.
view to look like a trapezoid.
I don't like it. Yeah, no, I think this is the worst console we've seen. I think this is worse than the ColecoVision.
Whoa.
I agree.
Sure.
Really? I
Whoa.
don't. I think that this is D tier.
I would go
Really?
D right after Atari Pong and right before Atari 5200.
No, wow, that's crazy. No, this to me is just like it is everything I hate about these types of consoles. Right? It does not look fun to play, and also it just does not have like the functionality that I would be looking for in terms of like just looking at it and be like, oh, I can put the cartridge in there easily.
It looks like Obi-Wan's lightsaber also.
You're saying,
Interesting.
Andy, what's your vote?
I would put this F below the ColecoVision.
Wow,
The
really?
chat's run away with F, so
If
the F's
There
have
you
it.
go.
If they had the grooves on top, maybe above ColecoVision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we should groove modifier.
Groovin', yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Groovin'. Oh, I like that.
Portland Kevin says, reminder, or super chats in just like you can, saying, reminder, you guys said controllers don't count. I feel like if the controllers are like part of the system, it's
Yeah.
different. Like if
Also,
they're
remember,
part
we
of the
don't really
design.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Whatever's going to be the most fun argument for our point, we're going to use.
Roger wrote the rules. It doesn't fucking matter.
Then we got next up the good fucking lord, GE and Milton Bradley.
General Electric and Milton
The
Bradley.
Vectrex.
The Vectrex, cool ass fucking
Sick
name. Get
name.
rid of it.
Great name.
I don't want to know that the people making that
F tier, and that's the last. That is the last.
Wow.
That is dead last.
This looks like if somebody took a viewfinder and like just made it too big and then stopped mid-project.
It looks broken.
Yeah, this looks broken. This is definitely the worst.
So
we've
it
had.
came with the actual.
This looks
TV.
this looks like you're in prison, but it's like a sci-fi futuristic prison,
Yeah.
right? And like this is when you get sent to the hole, this thing fucking talks to you for 24 hours.
I was gonna say like a face pops up on the screen and goes, "Hello, inmates, you have a visitor."
Also true,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? You have to like accept.
I do not want to touch that controller.
No.
That analog stick or whatever the fuck that thing is. Mm-mm.
Can we give some tip of the hat for the fact that it's all in one? Right, you plug that in. It's the game console. It's the screen. It's everything. I feel like it's probably F tier, but it's like not the worst out of everything we've seen.
In a
But
way,
a
it's
little
kind of
bit of
handheld.
Exactly. Actually, maybe we should be having the conversation.
Yeah, I
little
see
bit.
what your
Just a little
argument
bit.
is, but I don't want to use that screen ever.
It looks like somebody went to a scrap yard and made it with a bunch of different other parts.
Tony
None
Stark.
of it looks
Yeah.
none of it looks like it's part of the same sort of product being sold.
Yeah, I hate it.
This is F at the very
Okay,
bottom.
F.
F very last.
I'll let it ride.
Very, very bottom. But
You guys ride.
little tip of the hat for the name, Vectrix.
That's
Great
just
name.
sick.
Great
Fun.
name.
Very sick.
This is when people started discovering you put an X in there, it's going to sound
We're gonna,
awesome.
yeah, it's gonna be and a V2. Like, come on,
Yeah.
they're going hard there. The Mattel Intellivision. This is another one I've heard a lot about that I wouldn't be able to pick out of a lineup.
Ugh.
Well, I guess looking at it says Intellivision, so I would.
Yeah.
But,
You'd be able to, read
I mean, okay, I want to give them some props for at least trying to err on a premium vibe.
Yeah.
I don't love the what they were going for, but I do feel like this had a vision that they committed to that I think hits it more than it misses. This is still.
I would put this in C.
That's the thing. I'm weirdly like pushing for C, but I'm like, no.
See, I
In
think
the
it's
same way I
top
said
of
there
D.
can't be too many A's.
I think it's top of
I
D.
agree
It's
with that.
right there. It's
Top of
sniffing
D.
at C.
Top of D.
I
the D.
don't mind that. What it reminds me of like is in between two couch cushions, like that's where you put your little soda. Like it looks
Yeah.
like in the middle. Here's where my remotes go. Here's where like junk goes.
That's a
in there.
D that's sniffing C if I ever saw one.
Good Lord. Moving on, we are skipping the Game & Watch because that is definitively a portable console, and we're going straight to the Atari 7800.
Oh.
Andy, for $1 million, if I was like, hey, what are all the Atari consoles?
Dude, I was just about to say that. I would have assumed that the 100 series would have ended the last.
I would have skipped the
iteration.
Jaguar immediately.
Yeah.
Atari 7800.
Huh.
Which is
Wait,
I
some have different handles though. What's going on here?
don't know.
Like some have the different. Like one of them has like sort of a 2-button thing.
oh,
And I
well,
guess
the
these are just
controllers.
controllers.
Yeah, controllers are like detachable.
So these are detachable now. Okay,
They don't
now
matter though.
Yeah,
don't
so
matter.
they don't count anymore.
I know. Now we're in a new lane. We're in a new world now.
We're going through history.
This
I mean-
looks like a newer version of that other one we didn't love,
But-
just a little bit better.
I think it solves a lot of the problems of it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the design language here, the clear gray
Oh,
line
and
with
also
like the nice color.
Fucking
thing.
duh, Andy. It's a newer version of the 5200 that we were just talking shit about. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, it just looks like they took the other design. Well, yeah, it's the next version.
And for that, I say C.
I'm feeling
I
C
feel like
on
this is just a great average base. It's just there. It's
I like
doing
it.
its thing.
Yeah, this feels like the introduction of like what a modern console has become now. It's just
Yeah.
it's just there. It's a black box and it's sleek enough.
But the
like
rainbow
it.
strip, though, I think gives it a little pizzazz.
Exactly.
And I would put it in front of the Magnavox.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just make sure on the
Agreed.
same page.
High fives all around.
Yeah. Bah. Next up, we have my first console ever, the
Oh.
Commodore 64.
Wow. I didn't know you're a Commodore guy.
Unfortunate garage sales. It's a whole
Sure.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Access.
You got to do what you got to do.
So is it just a keyboard
It's a keyboard. Does it come with the?
with the floppy drive thing?
No, it doesn't come with the screen.
Yeah. See that's what's weird here is like this image here does not look familiar to me at all.
But this does.
That's on the tier thing. But yeah, like that's the Commodore 64 that I know, which is it's
Is that
kind of just like a computer with a big chunky ass keyboard.
Yeah, it is.
This looks like a computer, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't love about it. And I'm going to make a little comparison to my San Antonio Spurs. They love using their Fiesta colors, the teal, the orange, and the pink, And it's like they use that in marketing, but not really anywhere else. I want these color rainbow stripes all over the damn place. Well, not all over, but like use it way more than just here's this one little tiny strip there.
Yeah.
If they utilize that a tiny bit more, I'd say like this thing looks really
Those wrap
stylish.
around or something, right?
Yeah, just
something.
like maybe on the right side near where those little button pads are, like just a little strip down there or something.
This is poopy.
Yeah.
I don't like any of these computers that have that like ugly ass beige gray
And
situation
that was like
going
every
on.
computer in the 90s, early 2000s.
It looks like it already oxidized.
Like I'm in the
Yep.
computer lab right now in elementary school.
Yep. I don't like it.
But how much do you not like
I would
it?
put this like low D, high F.
I don't think it's F. I don't think it's offensive. I don't look
Yeah.
at that and be like, this is disgusting. It's just like, oh, it's a regular
it's
boring.
It's just no
boring.
personality. It's
Yeah.
boring.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
would put it mid D's.
But that's
like,
yeah, I guess actually the
not mad
D's
at
that we
it.
have aren't that offensive.
And
I would
that's
put
kinda
it-
where
I
I'm
would
at.
go, yeah, mid D I could get behind between a Coleco and Atari.
I'm with
Pong.
that.
Yeah.
I'm with that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna put it above the Colortron. Wait, that's not the image that I'm fucking looking at.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
what the
we
hell
don't know
this
what that
image
is.
Oh, okay.
Jared Petty could tell you
I
about
think
it.
that image is just the keyboard and then
Gotcha.
some.
Oh, okay,
Or
maybe.
Or like a case or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. And then here we go, boys. We're
Shit.
getting serious.
What?
We're getting
Spicy.
real. The Nintendo Entertainment System.
Take away nostalgia. Just look at this image. Let's look at it. Let's just all look at it together.
Oh, here
take
we
a
go. We're
breath.
about to have a Gen Z hater right here.
No, I'm just
Take a
saying. Now we're getting to the point where this is the consoles that we actually love, right? And we just got to remove it. I'm going to do that for my Xbox 360 as well. You know what I mean? We'll look
Oh
at that
wow,
later.
that's big.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
if we could bring up an NES so we can actually talk about this. I want to
It's
say.
taking a while because all of the images are the fucking minis. So
Oh.
give me a second.
Yep, that'll happen.
I'm looking at this.
Yeah.
I'm giving it a hard look right now. The audience hasn't seen it right now, but now they
the
are.
audience has
Great job
never
there.
seen the NES.
And I'm giving this a hard look. And I'm going to vote with my heart, but more importantly, my brain and my kidneys.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I'm going to give this a high C.
High C.
High C.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Wow.
I mean, like, it's not offensive. It's good. I think it's a pretty solid console, but it doesn't excite me. It doesn't even scream too much play.
That
right?
sounds like D. Y'all were just making the same arguments for D consoles.
But I'm just saying, like, again, I think that this is, if I look at the actual C's, right, it's closer to the C's than the D's. Like,
Here's my
the D's are like, I don't never want to really touch those. C's, I'm like, yeah, I'll touch those. And that's where I'm at with the
I could
Nintendo
go
NES.
low. I could be convinced low B because
yeah.
I love the two-tone bottom gray with the top gray
This
and
is
a
my
red
thing.
strip.
We're
That
talking,
red.
we're talking about how these things look. This is the first one that we've seen that has an actual design style that I feel like, besides maybe the Atari with the rainbow strip,
Yeah.
they were trying to do something with the colors and with the design itself that would like to make this feel special and to be its own thing, and they fucking nailed it. And time has shown that that is true. It might not have been that true at the moment, but looking at this thing, my gut says A. Having said that, the more I look at it and think about it, it's like I can be talked down to the B, and I feel good about a B. I think that there's more consoles that do look better than this, but I think that this is iconic for a reason, and the font choice is inspired. It looks awesome, and the red, where they use red on this thing, I think is perfect, and that's the little line. Can we pull it up again? The grid line that they have of the transitioning from the two grays with the black with all the lines, like that's good design, and
You're really
especially
selling me
as
right
it
now.
Yeah, you're selling
translates
me.
to the controller, which just adding the design of it all. I
Here's
feel
what
like
could-
there's cohesion here.
Here's what could have pushed it even further, because similar to my arguments with the Ataris and having this like rainbow color scheme that's just not being utilized enough. Can you imagine if what broke up the two grays was a red light? That would be the most fire fucking looking thing ever. But that's in a different universe.
We didn't have the technology yet.
We didn't have that tech. You're right, Greg.
I like
would.
your route,
Tim really convinced me. I would
I
put
think
this
B.
in B.
Yeah, he's convinced me as well. I think
I was on
also,
that side from the beginning. I just didn't get to say it.
I think also for me, it's like I was trying to remove the controller because the controller is so iconic to me and speaks so much to that console. But I think you're
red
winning. You're
buttons.
winning me over with the cohesion of it all. And also, I love those buttons. Buttons.
Oh
Feel good.
yeah,
They
I
feel
could,
good.
Oh,
They feel good.
man.
They feel
power
good.
button, that spring,
Feel good.
dude.
Open up
come
the
on,
tray.
man. Yeah.
Put it fucking.
tactile feel.
Next up, we got the Sega Master System.
Penny B good says the red bar would be neon and full of mercury. Kids just getting sick all over the world.
I broke it. I'm dead.
Greg Miller, I want to start with you.
Of
'cause
course.
You owned this.
I did. This is my first video game console. Okay, first off, fuck off.
What is the diagram going on here? It's like war games. What is happening?
What
They
is so
steal
hard?
this from like a early beta?
What the diagram there? I'll
Yeah,
have
what
you
is
know.
happening? It's like a
It's
mind
fucking
map.
telling you how to use it. It said we don't need to give you a complicated instruction manual. We will give you the easiest thing. Are you playing with the cartridge or the card? That's right. There were two different forms of media on the Sega Master
This was the
System.
dev unit they
Then
sent
it was
out, right?
connect Control 1 or Control 2, depending on what you're doing. And then you connect to the TV system, ready to fucking go. Any kid can fucking see this. You got these kids out there. Look at Snowbike Mike. If he would have been raised like this, he would understand. Fucking
No, if he was raised like that, he would look at this for 5 seconds, then cry, and then they would take this back to the store.
no.
If
no,
you've ever been in game development, the diagram up top looks like when you're making a texture or a tiling material that moves and
Like the
animates.
nodes
Like
or whatever?
yeah, you're connecting all these different nodes and stuff. That's like part of their instructions on
It
top.
really does.
Which kind of smart, but also just really
No,
doesn't.
leave
look
it
good.
up because people don't have the right idea yet, Barrett. Make them look at this.
This is not
Barrett.
connected to
I have something to
nostalgia
say.
at all
I
for
want,
Greg.
of course not. There's no nostalgia. Look at how dope it is up there to have 3 different fonts. We got Sega. We got all caps Master System
And also
/
Power Base.
Power Base. So is this the Power Base? What is? So I guess the controller. Yeah, the control pad. But like. So you have the Master System / Power Base. Master System is in all caps. So that's the Master System. Control Pad, you'll notice, is in all caps as well. Before they introduced yet another font for start. So like they were like trying.
Yeah,
they were
dude.
cooking here.
I like the red.
The red and black I think
yeah.
is a
The
good
red
look.
is good.
The color combo good. I feel like this is definitely in that like the D tier that we've built here.
Yes.
Looking at these compared to the other systems, I feel like this is regressing a little bit. Like compare this to the NES, and it's like what the hell we
Well, I
doing?
think most importantly, right, to compare to the NES. Again, throw it back up, Barrett, please. The idea, I think, with the problem, the problem I have with it, right, is the fact that I think that black and red is such a good look, and then they do clutter it so badly with
Yeah.
this diagram. Even if you just erase that, right, and had it be in a cooler way, cartridge input, reset, pause, and then just the red line, you'd be closer to something
Closer.
like the NES. Not there.
I still don't like the shape though.
Yeah, I don't love the shape either.
80s.
Do you think they were going for something to kind of look at the mass audience and be like, hey, you know how tape players work? Were tape players out when this game? Yeah, right?
No.
No? Because I'm looking like what's
Well, I mean,
really
they're out probably, but I don't know.
what's really fucking me up is the power on being this like sideways triangle to. It looks like it's emulating. Hey, this is the play. This is how you start. or whatever.
VHS came out in 1976, so yes, they would
Okay.
have been around.
Like that triangle on this diagram is just really throwing off all of the sort of vibes.
Sure.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the
too
vibes
dominant.
are bad. The vibes are very
You're-
bad.
Yeah, excellent call.
Also, something I hated then and I hate now looking at it, I know we're not talking about the controllers, but the controllers plugging in on the side to then be held like an NES controller is so weird.
oh yeah,
That should be
that's
plugged in
bad.
at the top. That side plug was always, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah,
Anyways,
I go for it.
I mean, I think D. I think we're nailing it.
Yeah.
But I would put it personally. Yeah, honestly, I would go behind Coleco before Commodore. Because again, I think Mattel's in television,
with
the
you.
gold, Coleco trying something. Sega just, there's too many spices
Yep.
in the soup.
I agree.
I just made that up, by the way, too. You can all start using it.
Spices in the
Spices
Too
soup.
many
soup.
spices in the soup.
Things are getting a little too
And
spicy
you,
for the
you with
pepper.
that?
I would put this. I would put this at the end of D, honestly.
End of D.
Yeah.
Wow. Raj,
Well, you need Roger to figure out what he's going to say.
where would you put this?
I
thing?
have, me and Tim are behind putting the Sega Master System D tier between Coleco and Commodore. Andy wants it to be D tier behind Atari 20 at the very, very end.
Yeah, it's at the very end.
Oh, okay.
That's the very end.
Wow.
It's
Well,
just
then
the
it's-
it's the fonts.
Chat,
up
do you
in
want it
chat.
to be mid C or N? Or no, I'm sorry. You screwed me up looking at the Sega board.
Mid D or N D?
Thank you.
Felix says mid D. Taylor says ND. We get some ends, we get some mids, highs. No, this is the first time we're
Oh,
split. The chat has been split.
See, there's
Barrett
splits
Courtney,
on.
you will rule. What is your call?
It's mid D.
Mid D, everybody.
So that's behind the Coleco.
Yeah. Great job, Barrett.
Mid
Great
D.
job.
Incredible.
Then we got a couple handhelds we're going to skip, and we're going to go straight to the TurboGrafx 16.
Good.
TurboGrafx 16.
I'm saying good to the name.
What's
I
the
have no
difference?
Yeah, are we doing the
I knew
TurboGrafx
one person
16
who had
mini?
the TurboGrafx 16, so I don't
Let's
understand
skip
the mini
because
versus
it looks
the
very
regular.
similar. So let's just go straight to this TurboGrafx 16.
This is where Bonk lived. Remember Bonk, everybody?
What?
Remember Bonk? Did I fucking stutter?
Mascot? Or-
He's like one of the most famous
I hate this.
TurboGrafx guys.
I fucking hate the look of this.
Oh.
This looks like any sort of cheap knockoff, like fake version of a console
You're
you'd
at
buy.
the mall
Yeah.
kiosk.
You'd buy this for
Stick.
got
$20.
300 games.
Yeah, and I really
It
hate.
looks like a memory card.
I hate
Kinda
everything
thing.
about this.
I
Yeah, this is
This is
bad.
F.
And they really tried something with the colors, and it didn't work. I feel like it's such a safe choice for a color combination, and they fucked it
It looks
up.
so cheap.
Yeah.
yeah.
This is as F as you can get for me.
I go F because they tried something and failed.
Oh, I do know Bonk. I do know Bonk. I would give it an F too. I'm not like angry, like super angry
Yeah.
about it, but like if I look at that list, I'm like, yeah, it definitely falls into the F.
Having said that, I do think it's the top of the F.
To me,
Okay.
it looks like they paid for somebody make the logo, and that's it. Everything else is like engineers just putting hardware together, and
Sure.
it looks so cheap.
Next up, we do have skipping the Game Boys. We're going to the Super Nintendo, the SNES. My first real console. There was a Commodore 64 in my house, but it was my dad's. This was my console. And I love the color combination more than anything. Over the years, it yellows and it doesn't look as good, but you gotta love
Come on,
that.
what are
The
you gonna do?
soft gray, the soft purple. It's just, it's so sexy. But I don't know, man. There's some problems with this thing. I'm gonna be real.
What the problems? But are we talking about just the look of it?
It's so boxy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the design of it, it's a little over-engineered. Like, there's too many layers going on. The buttons aren't that great either.
I think this is a B tier,
Wow.
but I think I prefer the NES. I prefer the NES. I love the purple though. I think the purple is inspired, but I love the two-tone of the NES and what they were going for there. SNES, a little bit of a step backwards, but still in the B tier for me.
For
I
me,
agree.
This would be the first one I would go S.
Wow.
Like I love that. I love the SNES. I think the colors are so good. The dual tone, like triple, if you want to talk about the controller cable there. The purple, the stylized Super Nintendo Entertainment System, like in general, I just think that is a beautiful system.
See, like for the nostalgia, for sure, I get where you're coming from. Like,
But I don't have nostalgia for it.
Oh,
like I was a
gotcha.
Sega kid through this.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
eventually, after playing an entire summer of playing Super Mario World in Matt Noel's basement, I traded a bunch of stuff to get it, and then I only played more Super Mario World while listening to the brand new Weezer album Pinkerton. So
Fuck yeah.
that is where it starts and stops for me with SNES.
See, for me, I just knowing what the Super Famicom looks like. I don't know.
That's
I like
true.
those colors.
I will
like
always
how-
die on the hill that the American one looks better, and I feel like that's one of my crazier takes.
I think the Super Famicom looks so much cooler
Oh my
than
gosh.
this one.
Yeah, that's like I can see the argument for an S tier on that.
The
one.
Super Famicom to me is an S tier, and I would give the American Super Nintendo. I would give that I'd give it a B.
Yeah, I go B. But my thing too, though, I think
purple
color
is really
scheme
what does
is
it for
S
me.
tier.
The what?
The purple, the color scheme of the purple and gray, the scheme is S tier to me.
Yeah, I agree.
The Super Famicom colors, I think they're straight up ugly. Like, I do not like those primary colors together.
I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing ever. Now I think what does it for me on the Super Famicom is the roundness of the angles, and I think that the shapes and blockiness and where they chose to put those shapes and blocks for the Super Nintendo is really what kind of doesn't work for me. Now, when the Super Nintendo had its reissue, where
Gen 2,
the
little
buttons were on the side, I hate that even more.
I thought we were gonna go the opposite.
Yeah, no, the
direction.
reissue sucks.
Yeah, the reissue sucks so bad.
But yeah, so Super Nintendo, B tier is where we're landing.
Okay.
But now here's the question. Is it above or below the NES?
I think it's below.
I think it's above.
I mean, the Super Nintendo is like so near and dear to my heart. And like, nostalgia aside, like I just think the colors are so great.
This
But
is eating you alive. I see it.
yeah, I don't know, man. I think the NES is a classic for a reason. I put the Super Nintendo second.
Fair enough.
Andy?
Can you bring the list up one more time? I would put this below the NES.
Okay.
Yeah, low B for me.
Missing Link says it. What we're all thinking: insane. Lemon Bendy, list bad.
Now,
Where's this going?
I would go low. I think it's B,
It's
right?
B tier behind the NES.
Behind the NES?
Yeah, man.
I tuned out for a second.
Yeah, you left me hanging on that, Bear.
I'm
You
so-
know.
well,
I don't know why we like. I really think
Fuck
that the Super Famicom should be here, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Because that's an S'er for me.
Then we have the
Jesus.
Philips CDI.
Awesome.
Philips
Wow.
This is one I don't think I've ever seen in person.
Yeah, I've only.
Maybe at a museum.
Saw it at a pawn shop at one point.
Oh, fuck this. Disgusting. It looks like a VCR.
What's this? Stupid?
Yeah, it's a VCR.
Yeah, I know.
But
It is just a VCR, yeah.
but it's a clean VCR.
yeah.
Like it's you compare this to some of the other ones we saw that had way too much shit going on. You look at this, you understand what's going on. I feel like this kind of looks like
it doesn't make me want to play.
no, but I mean,
Makes
I
you
don't
wanna
know.
listen.
Now
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
Now, whatever the display screen is that pops up, I'm expecting to see like an equalizer.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Oh, see, I
Exactly.
was thinking of
Cool.
like song title or something like that, or like FM like kind of numbers and shit.
I don't know. I feel like this is clean by design, and there's nothing offensive about this at all. Like I don't hate this.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, right? Let's think about it. It's like that's pretty close to an Xbox One, right? Like it's. I mean, I don't know where we're gonna go with the Xbox One or whatever, but this is what a lot of consoles end up becoming. I don't find it offensive. I don't find it like. I don't even think it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a C, but
I go mid C. Looking at our
Yeah.
list here, like I think this is better than the Magnavox for sure, but I don't think it's as good as that Atari.
yeah, I think it's middle of the road probably. Then I would put it as C.
I would put it below the Magnavox because it just looks like a receiver.
But receivers
That's
are
my
cool.
thing. Fuck off, Tim. You dork. You audio dork.
Compare that to the
You
fucking
audio
Magnavox. It was
loser.
like shit, dude.
Hey man, I'm telling you, I'd be down in D tier if you guys weren't here,
I'd be
cramping
down
my
too.
style, and I'd probably put it after. My heart wants to say Master System, but my head would probably say before the Master
I'm
System.
down to put it at the top of D tier. Like this is right there. We're right in the middle here. What do you guys feel?
I want
No.
this bitch as low as I can get it. So if that's where, if I gotta get on that ticket, put on that party hat right now at the convention, I'm in.
Or you guys C? You guys are strong C's?
No, I'm a high D, low C. I don't. I'm
I
not.
D it.
High D it. Let's high D it.
Next up, we got. See, this is where it gets fucking complicated. Because
bury this
Sega went
thing.
goddamn crazy. All right,
Also fucking
this
mind.
generation of Sega is like they're fucking wild.
God,
so
we have so many.
let's
just
go.
In this generation.
Let's go to the Genesis.
Yeah.
Sega Genesis is what we're doing because there's a bunch of revisions.
Who
What we're
ordered
talking
it?
about-
Why they ordered it?
I
that
don't
way?
know. It's
Yeah.
bizarre. But the Sega Genesis is what we're ranking on this goddamn list,
Yeah.
okay? And I love the Sega Genesis.
I agree.
The
I agree.
first
Yeah.
version of it is so damn sweet. I feel like they had some style. They had some grace. They knew what they were doing with this thing. And I feel like this is a great definition of the early 90s. Like this to me is as iconic for the
16-bit.
early 90s as the NES was for the 80s.
See, and they learned all their lessons from the Master System, all right? They don't need the chart, the flow chart on how to play it, right? On, off. It had a headphone jack.
Which is
Tim,
sick.
you must love that. You know what I mean? A great logo, 16-bit, a little bit of red.
Great
We're in and
logo.
we're
Great
out.
name.
This is an S tier.
I hate this.
This is
Whoa!
an S
Whoa!
tier.
This looks like a better version from the 70s consoles that we saw. Like all of this, like the volume knob on the bottom left, and like those pieces of hardware look like because you couldn't have those digitized. I hate 16-bit being on top. I don't.
How
like
would you
the-
know how many bits
I
it
don't
was?
like the
But
size
that,
of
but
the
that
logo.
that was the branding back then. That was
It looks like like a kid would be playing this fake console on Johnny Five. On like,
No.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I hate it.
Oh,
This
I love
is
the edgy font. Like it's so
Oh.
like Spider-Man 90s.
raised
logo.
too.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
Yeah, no,
Premium.
this is debatably S, but my heart says
Debatably S.
debatably
I
S.
say there's
man.
no debate. It's S.
I don't think it's S.
doing?
I
I
think,
go A though.
I think it's A. I think
go
it's
A.
A as well.
I
Like
go
I
A.
again, I don't have any connection to this console at all, but I look at that and it's everything I want. It feels playable. It feels like I look at it I'm like, oh, that's
That
a
looks
game console.
fun. That looks
fun.
fun.
It also looks edgy. It looks like comparatively to the Super NES, it's like shit. I understand how there's
has blast
competition here,
processing.
and also I love the buttons here. I like that it has the reset button. I love the volume notch over there.
I
Never
think
used
it,
it.
I
Never
think
used it once.
I think it looks cheap as hell as well. It looks like a cheaply made piece of hardware, similar to when we saw the Turbo Graphics. It was like This is because 16-bit is on top. It looks so bargain bin to me.
No,
I
it's the
hate
opposite
this.
because it's
Premium,
raised.
baby.
It looks it like the font choice that they use. It's like they were so unconfident in their thing, they had to put the specs on it. It's ugly, dude. That thing is ugly. That's
Well,
like
you lose a vote. It's going to A
This
tier.
is a
smart people are on the
fucking like low C, high D for me.
Wow.
I think it's really not good.
I also love
looking.
the circular aspect of it. Yeah, this is an A for
Yeah,
me.
this is great
Solid
design,
A.
man. Yeah,
I
solid
think
A.
above Atari, below
No,
Atari.
below
Atari.
That's why I'm the lead designer here, everybody.
I
Keep
think
that in
this
mind.
is below Atari.
I think it's above.
I go above.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, above?
Wow,
Yeah.
I guess we're going above.
What paneling?
That's
man.
insane.
What are we
That's
doing?
insane.
Sega goddamn Genesis, man.
It's a cool name. The best. Put that next to the Odyssey's best names
That's true.
so
that's
far.
true.
Next up, we got
Just the regular Neo Geo?
Neo Geo. Yeah.
Sure.
Neo Geo. Neo
Sure.
Geo.
Sure. God, they made too many consoles back then.
They did. There were too many people in the space.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Too many shapes. Commit to a shape. Commit to a vibe.
Let me pull up.
Too many shit.
This
you know
looks
what
cheap as fuck
Oh, wait,
also.
this is the CD.
It
Hold on,
does.
sorry.
Oh, is that the one? That's not the one.
Yeah, hold on. 'Cause it says CD on the top.
That's true.
Or do they all say CD on the top? Yeah,
Beans
hold on.
Got Game says when you turned on the Neo Geo, your lights flickered. Such a power draw in the middle of your living room.
Yeah, I
In
don't.
fact, this console is not cheap, says Onimani.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I was looking
okay.
at the CD. My bad.
Oh,
Well, this one I like better than the CD, but
I like the angle. Like, I don't know. I guess that's where you put the cartridge in there. I'm hoping. I don't know what else you put in there, but
Yeah,
I like the way that looks. Yeah, I would say C.
yeah, me too.
There's something nice about it that's like C-ish to me.
Yeah.
And it does
It's
look premium.
clean.
It's very expensive. It was very expensive.
This doesn't make it cheap. It's clean,
No.
not cheap looking. I give it C.
I give it C.
I agree.
Really quick before we continue on. Tim, you say you don't like the CD.
Yeah, I do not.
Okay, I'll bring that back at some point.
Oh.
He's going to get your ass.
Oh no.
You're about to get canceled.
The Neo Geo, you guys want it C?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do C. And
I put it in the middle.
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
Look, we can all agree.
Yeah.
Unity.
Then next up we have the Jaguar,
The Jaguar.
the Atari Jaguar. There's a Jaguar CD. There's also a Jaguar Tiger. No, that's not right.
I thought these were so much cooler because they were just like rarer.
Yeah.
And little did I know how much better I had it that I was just a Nintendo kid.
Oh.
Oh
What
God
is with
damn!
these controllers?
Don't-
wanting to have
don't-
fucking number. I know,
Knock off
I
the
know, I
controller.
know,
It looks like
I know.
Predator's mask.
Yeah,
It
Ah.
does.
I mean, this
It's
is
hot.
like you look at the consoles like from the maker of the Genesis. Like it just looks
Ah,
like the
fuck
same
you.
thing, bro. Like
No.
the weird dome
The
in the
logo's
middle.
fucking great though. See
I
that?
appreciate that it's going for something.
Yeah.
I don't like what it's going for.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I don't love the angled like ridges over there that they're trying to go for.
It looks like
yeah, I
a
don't
kid put a fucking sticker on his parents' George Foreman grill. Like they're just putting their stickers wherever they want. They had this Jaguar sticker, you know?
Yeah,
like,
the
just
logo
doesn't fit
placement
there.
is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Logo's cool though.
I agree. And I think it would have been cool if that was the only logo on there and not the Atari and also all the text they had there.
I think it's C.
Yeah, even having said all that, I do think it's C.
I put it behind the Atari 7800 up in front of the Neo Geo.
wow.
I put it behind the Neo Geo.
I agree with that.
I put it behind the Neo Geo. No,
Now-
I might even go lower, but I'm outvoted.
Now we got the Nintendo 64. Now Barrett,
Oh shit.
I feel like this is where you're trying to get my bitch.
No, he's
ass.
trying to get you on the PS2.
No. Tim fucking nailed it. Hold on, I lost the picture of the the CD.
Nintendo
Yeah.
64 goes way low for me.
I agree.
But yeah, I agree. It's,
Make that sucker
okay.
transparent, though.
Yeah.
Atomic
Got watermelon? God damn.
They went fucking crazy. And yeah, that teal, oh, that thing did things to me. Eddie.
Yeah.
God damn. But yeah, Nintendo 64, not a looker, I would say.
I like the rounded edges of it.
I
to me,
nev-
that as a kid, that screamed more of like a video game console than anything. Like I looked at that comparatively to the competition, I was like, oh shit, like that, I want to play that. But
I'm doing an impression of Nintendo 64. It just always looked like it's got like
Little
its
feet.
fist down in the
Yeah.
front. Like
it was the fun machine, and again,
Yeah.
I looked at it, I'm like, oh, I do want to play that. That is something. Look, and it's got 4 ports, different. They're colored in the front, so they're calling out to you that you need more controllers, more
but it
friends.
says 64, so it's showing off that it's 64 bits. So they're desperate. So this should be F2.
you know the
Got a
logo.
cool
You know
logo?
those stickers that were like kind of bubble feeling.
Yeah. The
That's what
padded stickers.
it always looked like. The front logo was like a
Yeah.
I think the N64 logo of just like the N is one of the coolest looking things ever.
Yeah.
I just wish it was implemented better here. I never liked that it was separate from it. It always just looked like they pasted it on later. It's just going for a lot of things that don't work for me.
Topacy.
Here's my thing. All the shit I just talked. Looking at this, comparing it to where we're at, I think this is a bottom of B. Because you look at it, and I feel like it is well designed for what they're trying to get across. Greg sold me on the 4 controller ports just being front and center. The 3D Nintendo logo is an all-timer. And I feel like their commitment to that color scheme is great. I feel like the colors of the console are clean and well organized. And the expansion pack thing on the top, like that's just inviting even more fun.
Put your money into it.
I'm going
sis.
bottom B.
I say high C. I stick with it.
I'd say high C as well. I think you actually bringing up the Nintendo logo drops it down a peg for me because there's no like cohesion with that throughout the console. I know that it's important to have it there, but there's no like a strip of something. There's
Right.
nothing there. And the controller, I know we might as well look at the controller, but the controller has that extension.
Look at it.
I think the coolest aspect of it for me are the light gray accents, being the controller ports and the tray. But yeah, everything else, it's got just weird curves all over the place. It kind of looks like columns where, like, for those front 2 base areas, I just don't like anything that it's doing. This will go anywhere C for me.
Yeah, I think someone in chat, I think personally nailed it where they said the base model C tier, but what the fuck is happening with control? There we go. Base model C tier, but see through B tier. But if we're just going
I can
base
fuck
model,
with that. Yeah. I mean, top of C, I'm fine with.
There it is.
Top of C.
I mean, it's still way below the Sega Genesis 16-bit, which is the full name of that console.
Good.
Yeah.
As it should be.
I like he can always find something to hang on to. You know what I
It
mean?
just sucks. dude.
God
Hater.
forbid he celebrates.
You saw the
something.
chat
You know what I
disagreeing
mean?
with all of you, by
Do
the way.
you know why Shroud gets more views? Because he's happy.
And then we have a weird one here, the Virtual Boy, which, like, I don't know, it's not a handheld, but like,
I mean, you can bring it anywhere.
you know what I mean? Yeah, it's,
That doesn't count.
but
Okay,
let's
it's not a
not
console.
get into
Next
it.
one. Save it for the next
Fucking
one.
sucks, anyways. Then here we go, Greg. The
Virtual Boy's
Sega,
got one of the worst controls ever, by
The
the way.
Sega Saturn.
Sega Saturn, which you owned.
I did own a Sega Saturn. This is what broke my
Sad
heart
life.
with Sega and made me never support them again.
I love how this thing looks.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
How's that insane?
You love the way that looks?
Dude, the Saturn, it's just fucking clean. And again, the Saturn logo, dope as shit. The only good things about the Sega Saturn were the logo.
How big was this thing, Greg?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, not I don't think its size was ever one of my outrageous complaints with it. I feel like it lacked personality. I think I would be happier with the design if it wasn't the bubble top there. Like it should have been just a box instead of the bubble top. I owned it and I didn't like it. I have many reasons I hated it, but its design isn't one of them. I was never inspired by it. I felt like it was very much a machine that didn't have personality, especially when you're talking about following up on the Master System, which we're free to hate on, the Genesis, which we've ranked so high, to then get here and have this complete failure of a system, have it look like this. Like, I mean, again, it's just a blah. You know what I mean?
You want to take this a lot higher, you take that glossy front panel and extend that all the way down to the front just to add that sort of differentiation. But I'm so with you on the bubble top. If it didn't have the bubble top, I think I would look at this a lot different because I love the font. I love the logo up top. But so much of it just screams like they didn't have a direction. The front of it also just looks so bland. Like that looks just
that
like
much dead space.
it looks like the big bezels that we hate, Tim.
Yeah.
On like just old TVs, that looks like a bezel. That
Dude, this looks like the stuff we see in the D tier.
Thank
like,
you. That's why I
this
say
feels
top of
like a D tier. Like I know it's special to some people, but not to me.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Special to some weirdos.
Top of D.
Yeah, no, I think that
Tip of D.
unfortunately we have some sickos here that don't
D-tip.
understand that clean is good. So that the Philips CDI and this both great. Don't belong in D, but here we are.
yeah, I'm down for whatever.
Surprising
there.
people are clicking off to watch Shroud.
I'm down
right
for
now.
low C as well.
Shroud today.
Then we have the.
I'm bringing the nighttime jokes on Andy's stream into the daytime.
He always
like
pops
that.
in.
I
And
like
says, Shroud has
that.
more streamer. Shroud has more views than this guy. He always says.
All right, here we go. The
I said it today in
PlayStation
the
1.
Games Daily Chat too.
The original PlayStation.
The original
The original PlayStation.
S fucking tier. Come on! Polygonal graphics, polygonal console, sharp edges. The fucking colors Andy always wants.
You're not wrong. It's fucking gorgeous.
This is an S tier.
It's a beautiful console. I love the circular design for the buttons.
Yes,
It has cohesion, especially with the pop-up top. Like,
Dog.
fucking gorgeous.
And what does it for me?
Yeah.
What gets me just real fucking,
Horned up.
just, oh my God, Roger.
Goonin'.
It's that little slit from the open to the CD tray.
Yeah.
No,
You
or
gotta have
CD
that
tray, the
slit.
flip down, and the slit down from power to the power light. Those little tiny aspects, along with the two large bars on the top right and left with the sort of smaller bar in the middle, all of this is just like, it's so beautiful to me. I don't know if it's S tier, but if I
see,
get
why
outvoted,
wouldn't
I
it
won't be sad
Yeah,
about it.
but what's holding it back for you? Because like for me, my biggest thing is I think it's S tier. I have a very staunch anti-gray agenda. Like I don't like the color gray. I like black. I like white, and I want to keep it that way. There's something about this though that it just this gray, this color gray with the nice little palette that they have of the
colored
it's
power
the
and
colors
open
are just so perfect.
Here's
man.
what's keeping it from me is that at the end of the day, when I see what our S tier is likely going to be, I'm going to say this belongs right below that. And it's still awesome looking. If I get I vote, I won't be sad about it, but
This S, baby.
S.
Yeah, I think it's S. And look at the way that the controller plugs in and then the memory card
dude,
perfectly.
the font
That's
of memory
gorgeous.
card, Sony's logo will always be one of the most timeless things ever.
Yeah. This is gorgeous. Yeah, no, this is an S tier for me.
The color logo, that's just one of the fuck. You know what? F it.
Whoa.
F it.
F?
Put it in. Oh no. Fuck it is what I
That's
meant
it.
to say. Put it in S.
F it, S it.
Yeah. F it, S it.
Then we're moving on to God. There's a lot
So
of
many
systems,
fucking
y'all.
consoles, dude.
This the 3DO. Let's
No.
just do the 3DO.
Let's just do the
Let's just be honest and
Just-
put the PS1 Mini in S rank for me. Just a tip of the hat for me. The PS1 Mini is one of my
hate it.
favorite looking consoles of all time.
Stinky.
I love the roundness of it. It's
We're not doing
so
the
fucking good
iterations, or
looking.
are we doing iterations?
I mean, if I don't think
It's not here, but
Yeah, we could if we want.
I think
it's
there are some later on.
Ew.
Right? There's some Xbox.
This is a recent one?
Isn't this is the mini, right?
It's a 3DO.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The 3DO.
God, I love the Mini.
The 3DO.
I think that's the
I don't hate
version
it,
2.
but I don't love it.
Hate this.
I hate it. F.
It looks like a
F.
Yeah.
This is an F underneath what we have at D.
Look
Yeah.
where the
That is
power button is.
insane.
No, that's an F. I agree.
This looks like
Open,
this came
close,
out.
This
in
looks like a dev unit. This looks
Yeah.
like something they. We're not done with the final design, but we're playing on this to show you. What's
It
going
looks like it belongs in like the 70s and early 80s
on. What
consoles.
the fuck's going on top of it? Is it stackable? Why is it like this? What crate am I
It
putting
looks
on
like
top of
something
it?
you placed the N64 on top.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Cool.
That's disgusting.
That's great.
No,
F.
That is
F,
insane.
F.
Insane.
I agree.
Top of it. I'll give you top of F.
He's been generous, Tim.
You know what I
That
mean?
does not belong with those other ones.
This
down
is the
there. That's
last
insane.
piece of shit that touched the asshole before it fell. You know what I mean? Into
No
the
man, like
pile
that,
of
this.
shit.
I think that this. Looking at this list, that's like third in D. That's above the
Well,
television and all that
you
shit.
don't got
The
the
buttons,
votes.
the buttons pushed it over. Those buttons are gross. They're disgusting. Why are they there?
They're colored.
It looks
nice.
incomplete. The entire thing looks incomplete. That's when you'd set up and your mom would be like, well, is there more of it? Where's the rest of it?
Then we jump to the Xbox, the original Xbox.
Big boy Xbox.
Let's look at it. Yeah.
Look, man, I'm starting this
With
off.
Xbox.
Great colors. Let's introduce some neon green into this fucking world, and let's make it hot against that black. It's gonna look good. It's in the name, everybody. It's the Xbox. What's it gonna look like? A box with an X on it.
Yep.
You can't hate on this for what it is.
Can't. 4 ports, ready to go. Big time party. Gray buttons up there. You can see right away what you're getting into. Labeled the ports, which is always fun.
That's true.
You know, not a lot
Yeah.
of people doing that, right? And then that popping green Xbox logo on top.
It's definitely one of those that I can't really hate on much of it. I love the Spider-Man font that they're using. I don't think it's doing anything that makes me go, holy shit, I love this. I think the only thing I could say that about is maybe just that color green and the
But that's a big
sort of
big thing.
translucentness of it, transparentness of it. I would give this like a high B for me.
I go high B too.
I agree with that 100%.
I can go high B. I think my heart is an A. I think that's a gorgeous console, and it epitomizes cool, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I think those are the two pillars, right? It's either fun, oh, it's a little kid's toy, or fucking sick, and I need to buy that. 'cause
You're
I'm
a
cool
badass.
and I'm
The
12.
Xbox.
Right?
Now, when I was going to Austin, Texas to babysit my cousins, and I was going to be there all summer, I was like, I'm going up there to raise money so I could buy an Xbox and play Halo with my friends. And as I was about to hop on that little car ride for my parents to take me, they were like, "We bought it for you early. Just pay us back." And they bought me the transparent green Xbox with Halo 1. Holy fuck. That thing is like S rank to me just because anything transparent, give it to,
Quick epilogue to that story he doesn't talk about often. The two cousins drowned in a pool because he was playing Xbox.
It really sucked. Wow. It really sucked.
Wow. That was not the way to do it, Mom and Dad. So distract them from taking care of the kids.
Where are we putting it then? Because
Top of B.
The top of B, which then puts it above the NES and SNES. Are we feeling
Sorry, Mario. Get another plate of spaghetti.
I would put this at the bottom of B then.
No, I think it's better than the SNES.
But I'm not married to
and
this.
also, I
but-
love that it's the Xbox, and it's the only Xbox that actually put an X on the fucking console.
Yeah,
like
I go
That's
top of
awesome.
B. I go top.
Top of B. Top of the B, looking down on
Then
green.
we have the Nintendo game.
We won't even talk about this. S tier, let's keep moving.
S tier.
S tier.
Are you
S tier.
kidding me?
For the GameCube?
The looks of the Nintendo GameCube, I'm doing it. I'm tossing it right up. It had a fucking handle. It was meant to take to your friend's house and play games. It had a handle.
The
it
irony?
had adorable little discs. It wasn't big. It wasn't small. It was somehow in between.
It was orange, and it was purple, and it was black, and it was silver.
It was a game cube. Are you kidding me?
Dog, I'm going to be
you're
honest
right.
with you,
You're winning me
Greg.
over there.
This is like, legitimately, when you first started that, I was like, Greg's doing his little silly thing. And now I'm going to be like equally as silly, but real as well. I think this is like, if not S, it's definitely A for me.
S. No, it's I hear you and I
The
respect you, but
shapes
no.
being used, the button shapes up top. I love the square vents on the side of the unit. Again, the handle, so like useful and practical, right?
No,
but
though.
also
It's not.
the controller ports having this little gray RAID section. This is a great looking freaking console.
It
The
has
font
so
on
much
top,
character,
font's amazing.
identity.
Some of the best font we've ever seen.
damn, dude,
This
this
is a console you can hear.
this is a good looking
Not
fucking
about software.
console.
Not about software.
It's not about software. It's about a
look at
screen. This is about a screen. You
It's
can do that with
experience.
nothing in it, so in your fucking face.
That's true. That's true. I think this is an A tier. I don't think this is an S tier necessarily, but I love the cohesion of it, especially the name and also the fact that it's a fucking cube. I remember always being distinctly jealous of seeing GameCubes at friends' houses because it's like it was like the centerpiece, even though it wasn't the centerpiece.
Yeah, of
just how
course.
beautiful it
Like,
was.
just look at that, man. Like, that's
Yeah,
so
the
badass.
different color variations on it.
The gray button on the top left being different. Like, ugh.
I go B.
And this and the center circle being like the same size as a tiny little baby disc.
Tiny little baby
got,
disc. Horrible design.
If it was the
decisions.
baby, if we brought in the baby disc, that would be F tier for me. Fuck the baby
Dude,
disc.
the
Baby
handle
disc was the
pisses
coolest
me
thing in the
off
world.
because we didn't need a handle on this system at all, and it doesn't enhance the looks.
But why
We're
not,
not
though?
taking GameCubes like that. It's
Oh,
not like
oh,
Oh,
I
you
was.
should have
You're
fucking
taking
gone to a
GameCubes?
real college.
Oh,
you know
I
what I mean?
was
That's
taking-
on you.
I was
you
taking the
stayed
GameCube.
here. You had no friends, all right? We were moving
I'm taking my
GameCubes around
fucking
every room
Xboxes
of
for
the
Halo
goddamn
LAN
thing.
parties.
Put
Put a handle on the Xbox.
When
Dude, fucking call Bill Gates. Don't blame Nintendo because they did what Xbox don't, okay?
Nah.
When
Nah.
the hit Rio Grande Valley band Ambelina would practice overnight and have our long like sessions of writing music, I would take that little fucking GameCube. We would play Double Dash. We would play Smash, and that little handle always came.
And
into
it's
use.
such a smart design choice, right? It's almost like the Switch, right? Where it's like, hey, it's inviting you to bring it places,
Yeah.
to have a
This
a
isn't meant
moment
to
with people.
sit there and be in a dark entertainment. You can
Yes.
grab it, you can move it,
It
you
is
can
meant
do
to
the
be
damn
moved
thing.
around with friends. I love it. Yeah,
Damn,
no,
I
think
never
it's an A.
thought that I would be this much of an S ranker for GameCube until I got on this fucking
Come on,
show.
Raj, get up, S rank. Fucking do it.
I'll do bottom of S rank.
Yeah!
bottom
All
of this
right,
rank.
the votes have it. You don't have the
It's
votes.
all good. Then we got the Dreamcast next up. The Sega Dreamcast.
Tell us about it, Greg.
I mean, the coolest
I mean, this
name.
is the one when by the time they announced this and it was coming out, I was like, "Fuck you, Sega! I'll never buy
Okay.
another Sega system." I killed Sega.
Oh.
Their own problems killed Sega, but
But then you,
them dropping the bag and fumbling the ball out there is what made me then not. They killed the fan base.
they tried.
I hate so many things about the Dreamcast.
I hate the triangular
Yeah.
angles being used on this freaking device.
but you
I,
Oh
don't-
no! So here's the thing.
I really hate the logo as well.
Oh my god!
No, here's the thing. I don't like the logo being attached to the word Dreamcast. I think Dreamcast evokes something else and not this like orange circular thing that kind of reminds me of just not the word Dreamcast just evokes like something more colorful and purple and bluish and pinkish and so, like that logo never matched up with the word to me.
I agree 100%. That the spiral always makes me think crazy.
Yeah.
Like, isn't or you got hit in the head and you're doing like,
Wacky,
or it's like
yeah.
the thing trying to hypnotize you.
I
so I'm
love
with
this.
you.
I think the Dreamcast, this is A for me.
Wow.
I hate the games on Dreamcast. I hate a lot of things about the Dreamcast. I fucking hate the controller. But the console, I love this thing.
Yeah, to me, you see all the design influences from the previous consoles we just talked about, right? You see the PS1 in here, you see the GameCube even, like, you see what they were trying to go for and, like, mix it all together, and none of it works for me. I think it is a lesser version of that. I would give it, like, a C.
I would toss it C as well.
I hate the triangular stuff. I could
Love
go
the
low B, high C for it.
And also, like, it has the logo. We could debate what the logo is. I like the logo. It doesn't connect to anything else on the fucking console, and
Yeah.
I wanted more orange. I want something
Oh, it's
else.
the perfect amount of just
No.
one
Well,
pop on the gray.
Something else.
Well, I guess, like, again, I don't. I like the logo. I just don't think it mixes
Matches
with the
what
word
they're doing,
Dreamcast.
yeah.
Dreamcast is like such a different vibe to me, and it's one of the
the name
coolest
you're talking
console
about?
names. Just the
Gotcha.
words Dreamcast
Yeah.
is such a cool sounding thing.
I would say C, and I would put it right behind the Atari 7800. In front of the Neo
I would put
Geo.
I would put it below the 64 because I think it is a lesser like version of that type of thing.
I think I would put this above the Nintendo 64.
too.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Put it above
Top
the
of
64.
C.
Yeah, Tim's highest score pulls that up. Pulls that sucker baby.
And then we got the PlayStation 2. S tier, baby.
Come
S
on.
tier. S tier, baby.
S tier.
Not only S tier number one.
Oh, I agreed there.
I mean,
agree
we're
there,
putting
too.
that top of S tier, top of the list, right? Like you got to put it
No.
up there. This, Roger, it was.
No.
Let me just talk to you.
Let him talk to you.
You could lay it down. You could stand it up.
I know. I
When
had a
you
PS2.
did-
That was my first console.
Shut your little baby mouth. When you did, you could spin the logo on the disc drive,
yeah.
all right? And then it had
I
PS2
know.
written cool
The
on the
blue light
side.
and the green light.
And remember when it came in just the box alone, just this blue
I know.
fucking box logo up front.
The
All
blue
right, you go
gradient
for
for
it.
the USB ports in the front. The blue and green lights alone are some of the coolest things ever.
That's true. Fuck, I forgot about the green lights and the blue lights. I love this console. Again, my first console. I love this console dearly. I think it's a gorgeous console. I cried during Astrobot Playroom replaying it again this week. But I don't think it is the best console here. I think that the GameCube or the PlayStation, I can go either or. I think the first PlayStation is a stronger looking console. So if I'm not going to necessarily debate not S tier, but I'm gonna debate that it's the first console. That's our best console here.
I'm going to give you a real hot take for it. I think like my least favorite thing about it is the size and placement of the PS2 logo.
Sure.
For as sick as the logo is, with it also having a gradient from like this purple to a blue, you know, that's exactly my shit. I just never felt like it fully.
Utilize the space.
It felt kind of like
It's weird.
tacked on and added on.
Oh,
in a
interesting.
weird way.
I actually like that a lot. That's probably my favorite part of the console is how big the PS2 logo is on it. But I love the PS1 so much comparatively, just because it is doing something so unique, and also I think it's just a cooler looking console. Like I know I'm not bringing like anything super substantial. I know these are all vibes, but like I love looking at the PlayStation 1 more, and I would say that's my favorite.
I like it more than the PS1, but I don't like it as much as the GameCube.
Yeah, I'm with Barrett right there.
The PS2 to me is like just pretty much as peak as you can get, where it's just so simple, it's clean as hell, it's cool as hell, and it's black. We're not doing this weird gray shit. We're going black, and the gradient of that blue is just so sexy, and there's the right amount of blue everywhere. The little blue rectangle on the bottom left of the console, the double-decker-ness of it all, just the how you go with the grid system, and like Greg was saying, the turnable PlayStation logo being the correct PlayStation logo colors just there. This thing is art.
It's wild.
I love it.
Like right now, for me at least, we're getting to that top of the MCU section where it's like, yeah, but this movie's ending was incredible. But the other movie's ending, like beginning, was so amazing. Like I could put this wherever at this point. I think those three consoles are so damn good looking.
We're gonna keep going.
The blue
that
light
thing's
is so
great,
good.
man.
Like when you had
Gorgeous.
both those lights on the same time, when you would eject the game, and
Yeah, I know.
dude, they look so premium.
Yeah, man.
Those
and
tiny
then
little
even the
LEDs.
top of it having all the little like the fun features of like the DVD player and all that stuff. It's like, dude, this is the
And
peak
the
of
ridges,
tech,
too.
man.
Yeah.
God. We are going to be back ranking more consoles after a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Harry's. I always hate it when I buy something and then talk to someone else and realize I way overspent and they got it for cheaper. It's happened to all of us, but getting ripped off is no joke, especially when there's razors involved. The people at Harry's were tired of seeing everyday people paying way too much for low-quality shaving products. So they found a way to make beautifully designed razors without laughably high prices. You can get better designed and better value grooming products made by a company that forged their own path in the grooming industry. Harry's has been keeping me looking right for years, and you already know I looked so good at my wedding thanks to that very close shave from Harry's. Highest customer satisfaction in the shaving industry. No risk trial. If you don't like your shave, no worries. It's on them. Convenient subscription options that you can cancel at any time, so you can stop getting ripped off. With Harry's, you can get a shave that's a cut above the rest. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/kindafunny. That's harrys.com/kindafunny for a $3 trial set.
Major announcement. I wrote a children's book and you can buy it right now. My first ever children's book, Portillo the Wiener Dog Thinks He's a Manatee, is available as a limited run at kindafunny.com/store. I'm forever grateful to Kinda Funny best friend Josh Strickland for stepping in to help turn my dream into a reality with his amazing original illustrations. To celebrate the book launch, we're also bringing back the Portillo hat and t-shirt along with a fun new crew neck that you can wear while you're reading the book to your kids or pets. Head over to kindafunny.com/store right now and check it out before it disappears.
And we're back, gamers, here to rank the rest of the consoles. We don't really fully know where PS2 was, but I'm assuming that's the very, very top, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'll
No, we do. That's where it is.
I'll put it.
It's a freaking good-looking console.
I'll let
you
you guys have this one.
Just
I'll let
this
you
one, though.
guys. Just this
I
one.
appreciate that, Raj. That's big of you, you know?
I'm excited to talk about the PS5.
So next up, we have the Xbox 360.
I peed him.
Xbox 360.
Xbox 360.
So,
Now,
You
there was a
all
lot
know
of
it.
gens here, though, man. This is where, like, I know the
But so
PS
far, we haven't been ranking the individual generations.
Yeah, I know the
Yes.
PS1 and the PS2 had their different sort of looks and things, you know, even the SNES, like we were mentioning earlier. But this is kind of where stuff started getting, like, really, really buck wild.
Buck wow.
And this is where a lot of, like, different, like, opinions for mine change depending on whichever one we're talking about.
Yeah, no, this is a weird one because I personally love the second or maybe third version of the Xbox 360, the all black
This
one.
one,
Yeah,
this one.
that one's beautiful.
With
That
the
was-
digital button and not
yes,
the push
exactly,
yeah.
which sucks sometimes because my cat would turn off my Xbox all the time.
Right.
But yeah, but this one. I enjoy the look of it. I think it is a very pretty console, especially with like the glowing green.
sometimes turning red.
Yeah, fuck it. A lot of times.
turning red.
So many times.
55%
What,
or whatever.
5 of them. Oh my god. I also love the memory card slot there. I think that's a memory card slot there, right? Like
the roundness of them.
it feels nostalgic. It feels old school. I know this is like right in the precipice, like in between.
That removable hard drive was really cool, too.
That was also really
that was
solid.
like, you know, I think there's so many things that, like, similar to a handle, maybe you never use depending on your life. But being an IGN editor at this time, reviewing games, you were popping your hard drive off all the time to bring it to work to do stuff and then take it home to
And
play.
the Chrome disk drive. I think this is an A tier. I think this is an A tier. It's a solid A tier. It's not an S tier for me. If we were talking about the other black Xbox, I would put that S tier. But this is an A tier.
I could
Mid-C.
easily go A here as well.
Mid C.
Mid-C.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tin. This is C.
I don't like
think
this
the other
thing.
generations of the 360 are like A's, but this is
I will
very
That's
plain
wild
looking.
to me. I
The
love
Chrome
plain
looks
looking.
cheap.
Got a little curvature going.
I hate the
Little
curves.
hips. Oh,
I hate the color white it is.
we talked about it before of, like...
I agree with that part.
You know, I think it was you saying for your friend with the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
With the GameCube.
Wanting it. Okay, yeah. That was the same thing. I remember when the 360 launched, and I was still working in Columbia at the newspaper, and I remember Time Magazine, I think, did a piece on it. It was Bill Gates holding it up, and the logo, the power button was at his eye, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, I'm like, I actually want that. I would say A tier as well.
I'm down to go A or high.
no, stand for
high B
something.
or
Don't
low
fall
A.
for
I'm
everything.
going to stick B because I also love the inset logo.
You were A before.
You were A.
You
Oh,
were with
sorry.
us at
I'm
A
gonna
before.
go with A is what I meant to say.
suck.
I love
yay.
I love the inset. I love the inset logo up top that
Yeah.
isn't like just a color thing. It is like built into the actual hardware of it.
I
But
would
that-
put it the end of A.
the green circle not only super cool to look at, but the fact that it told you like that 1 and 2 players
Yep,
are connected,
yep,
all that
yep,
stuff
yep.
is super sick. The silver tray I thought was a really awesome touch, but a lot of it for me is like the roundness of the ports and the buttons just always having kind of like a round bezel, not bezel, but you're always kind of like getting them Illustrator handles to get them round edges. I love that shit.
I hate how cheap it looks though. Like the shiny of the disc tray. Like if that was like a metal, I'd be way more into it. It looks like cheap plastic.
And I get what you're saying about the color of white, right? Because I think right now we're looking at it and it looks really beautiful, but then that's like an off-white type deal.
Genesis
So I would put it at the
time.
bottom of A as well.
I want to give a shout out to Comrade Serpent. Genesis just sitting there haunting this list.
Yeah, man. What are we
Genesis is a
doing?
beautiful
I love the
fucking
Genesis.
console.
I love how what?
It's a beautiful fucking console.
So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
above the original Xbox.
Wild.
Wild.
This should not be below Genesis. I mean,
we can do a purge. We're doing a purge. We'll figure it out at the ending.
Prune.
Purge.
Then after that, we have
Purge console edition.
the Wii, the Nintendo Wii.
Uh-oh.
Greg's looking at
Put it out. It's an S, baby.
What?
The Wii?
I mean, it's high.
Aesthetically,
It's
just something we had never seen before.
the
so
blue light in the tray.
fucking
Right.
clean. And yeah, you look at this, that's fine. But remember what it was like to come into your house? I remember like a Christmas morning coming down to get a cup of coffee and it was still dark. And like it was over there just glowing blue and going. And I was like, oh, that's so fucking sick. And it was small, but it was so cool and it had all these games. Like, you want to talk about nostalgia. Like, we would be nostalgic for me where it was the first Nintendo home console I bought at launch.
Barry,
And
you
I
gotta
was
get the one with the
excited
light
for
on.
it.
You gotta get the
and it
one
was
with
the
the light
idea of me coming
It's
in
hard
and
just
being
to
like,
get an image. This is the
me
era
coming
where
in and
it's
being like,
not like great.
not only am I jumping in, it's going to have this thing called the virtual console where I can play all these games I've missed. And it's going to be this, new form of control. But at any point you can turn it to the side and play like an old, and I know we're not
GameCube ports.
Yeah, I'm not bringing in
The gloss?
yeah, of course. Flip the top and you have the GameCube
And we talked about
ports.
ports. You're right.
Yeah.
That's part of the conversation.
And that's the thing, and they're hidden until they're revealed. There's the little
my
SD
God,
card
this
thing. Yeah, no,
thing.
this is
This
is
shit
very
was
high.
so fucking
This is
hot.
either like super high A or low S for me. Like the more and more I look at this damn thing, the more and more I find to love about it. The angular nature of it.
It's S,
the
baby.
fact that little slot next to the CD drive, which again, the CD drive having that light of blue is just the coolest shit ever. But the fact that all the eject buttons, power, and reset all lined up with that sort of left little section.
Yeah.
I love the angular nature of it. I love that it's beveled on the left side. It's so
and the kind of wraparound buttons, just a
It's-
little bit,
yes.
just kind of add to
Yep.
it. Yeah, no, this is
That's the thing. This
S.
thing has angles, but it's also just clean.
This
Right?
was the Wally. This was the
Wow.
Eve
Yeah.
sort of like console. I
Yep.
love the glossy white.
I go
So
I
cool.
go
It was so
S.
small. It was so small.
I put this above GameCube, but below the PlayStations.
sorry, above GameCube and below the PlayStations. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
wouldn't
not mad at
argue.
that.
I won't argue.
I'm not mad at that.
I could rock with that. I think the blue light is what does it for me.
With me.
It's such a good light.
All night.
Then we have the PlayStation 3,
The big one.
the big old
big boy.
beefy barbecue grill. I hate this thing. They're like, hey, what if we took the PS2 that looks amazing and just made everything about it worse? A worse color black, a worse color glossy look to it, a worse logo. This thing sucked. The shape of it was
Now
horrible,
we're talking
atrocious.
about the silver lined one, so it was
launch one.
backwards compatible and it had all the memory card because you could put a compact flash.
Oh,
just a heads up, you
a
could
big
put
one.
a compact flash in there
Holy
and get whatever
shit.
you wanted.
the
Spider-Man
3
Spider-Man
font.
font
I forgot
treatment.
about
Come
that.
on, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I never owned one of these, so I'm gonna kind of relent to you guys because, like, in terms of renders, it looks sick as fuck. Like, I remember watching these, like the 240p YouTube videos, and be like, man, I gotta get one of these. This is the future. But like, in terms of owning it and looking at it, like, this is whatever to me.
This is a D to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a D.
I
And
would
I-
top D list, top of the D.
And I know I do feel like I am grading against a curve because I think Sony's hardware always looks so damn good, and I think that this is like a massive miss for them. I'm glad that I never had this one. I'd bought this Slim that came out a little while later, which way more basic looking, but it's matte and it was just a lot nicer looking.
That was I bought that as well when they finally dropped the price and did a redesign. I had this.
The inset logo on the top right.
I
Like, it's so
had it.
way better.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
way
that,
better.
The Slim was great. This PS3, of course, I had
right
at
here.
work, both a test unit and a real unit, and I would lug it back and forth rather than pay my own money for it. And that thing was so fucking heavy. It broke. I remember one time it broke my Superman bag and like it totally like dented in its bottom corner. Like all that was like aesthetic, so it didn't do anything. But
My friend Christian and Justin camped out at Best Buy and they bought 2 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you guys are gonna be so rich, like, because they want to
Oh,
just
they're
like
gonna
sell
flip them.
them. Yeah, it was so awesome.
everybody did that.
Did
I
they
think that was like the first time I heard of like a console being flipped.
yeah.
Did they make money on it though?
Yeah, they
right.
definitely like resold it for sure. Like,
That was the thing I talk about.
because you couldn't get them anywhere.
When I covered, no, that was the problem because everybody bought them to flip them. At least around us.
Oh.
I did an article at the paper for launch night, and I was out in front of Best Buy. I was like, and I did like hey, how many people are actually going to play this? And of like the 30 people lined up, one person put their hand.
Oh,
up.
shit,
Everyone was
really?
flipping, and I was like, ooh,
That sucks.
After the PlayStation 3, we have. We're not going to do the Stadia.
No.
We have the Xbox One.
Xbox on.
Fucking F tier. Fuck this console.
tier.
Fuck this console. And maybe it's a principle thing, but it's just like this is just it's pretty in its simplicity, but I think it's just so fucking boring and it does not invite me to play whatsoever. It doesn't even have the cool aspect of it, right? Like I look at Xboxes in the past and it's like, whoa, you guys are really doing something. This has none of that
You
personality.
know, like half
at
of it
all.
being vented, like Dana Barrett's refrigerator or cabinets in Ghostbusters.
You couldn't even make it vertical.
That's my problem is the vents. Like I feel like, and also the matte to shiny ratio. It's up. I would not go that low though. I don't think that there's anything.
I think I just have.
offensive about
I'm
this.
trying to rip my nostalgia away, but I have to rip my hatred away as well. Like it's hard for me.
This to me is like high C, maybe low B.
Low B.
I go mid C.
I think it's a solid. If we're gonna do this, I feel like it's D.
I would have brought
Look
it to
at the
D.
Ds.
I would put it to D, and I would have put it behind PS3 in front of Saturn.
I think it's just not doing anything, right? It's just the most boring, safe choice that's like, I want to put it on an F just to be like, no, you didn't even try. You didn't even fucking try.
It's the black version of the CDI.
Where do we put the CDI?
We put it at D.
Yeah, okay. Put it below the Philips CDI.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like it had the
No,
light
that's
up button
crazy.
that would turn on. Like that shit was cool.
Yeah.
Name one more thing.
The like again, I don't think it does anything offensive though. It's
Yeah.
boring as hell. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But nothing about it makes me go, ugh, I fucking hate this thing. You know.
True.
My whole thing with it was when we said Xbox One, I had that moment where I went there and it was just file not found. Like I feel like that's how unremarkable this
Yeah.
entire system was. Like, wait, what did this thing look
Yeah.
like?
So where are we leaning towards then?
I was voting. I don't know where we are votes wise. I was going to vote D and put it behind PS3 in front of Saturn.
I would put it above PS3
That's above
because
PS3.
I don't look at anything at the Xbox and hate, and I
Yeah.
look at the PS3 and hate a lot
Totally.
about it.
But you're grading on a curve. You already said, so you've been compromised.
So I'm cool with that.
Then I'll put it at C then.
I'll put it
Well,
behind.
actually, yeah. Hold on. This thing's fucking better than the Magnavox Odyssey. Let's be
And better
real.
than the Atari Jaguar, and better
Yeah.
than the Neo Geo, and
I think
the
the PlayStation 3 is
7800.
better than this console.
It's not better than the Dreamcast, but it's
here.
better than the 64.
I mean, we already put the PlayStation 3 down there, and I would argue legitimately that the PS3 is a better looking console.
The PS3 is an atrocity.
No.
PS3
No,
not
PS3 is not an
looking.
atrocity.
It's ugly, and you just have something against ugly people.
Yeah. Don't you hate how like Roger nowadays just wants to call people ugly? Like,
All right. So we are. I'm saying C.
Should we just go low C?
I would go C and put it before the 64 or after the 64.
Chat. I mean, is it a
I'll
C
go
or
after
a D?
64.
I'm down to go above the 64, but I'm fine if it lands there.
What are you guys?
I think it's D. I think it's
D.
D, and I think it's below the PS3.
The C's have it though.
The
Okay.
64
chat's
reminds me a
popping
lot
off
of the
with Cs.
PS3, where there's a lot that I hate about it as well, and I don't hate anything about this thing.
So under the N64, above the Atari.
Wow. Okay.
Boom.
All right.
Fucking
Genesis
hate that.
way up there.
Fucking
Jesus.
hate that.
Then we have the Xbox One X and
See,
the
that's
Xbox
an iteration,
One
I
S.
feel.
No, but that's like now we're getting to like the pros.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like this is that
But is
counts
that
as a
not
different.
different? All right.
I think those are different consoles as opposed to like just the iterations of the things.
But they're not. They're the same console, just a little bit better.
But
No,
what's
'cause the
important to
One
know
S
is the
also
Xbox
came
One
out.
S is an S tier console, baby. This thing is perfect. It's the definition of we're gonna just design clean. We don't need personality. This thing's just what it needs to be. Exactly what it needs to be. The perfect balance of white and black.
you said S tier?
No,
Yeah,
he's,
not this
he's
one.
saying the S
The
is
One
S
S.
tier.
Oh, gotcha.
I would say the S is S tier, and the X is either A or B for me.
I'm right there with you.
I think this is a solid A. This
So we're
is
talking about the S right now.
the S or the X?
I don't know. I'm lost. They showed that, but then you said
Yeah,
this, but then that.
I'm saying S right
The
now.
white one.
Yeah, the white one.
Oh.
Okay. And you want to put it where?
That goes S tier for me.
I think the Xbox Series S is a better looking console in my opinion. So that's what that.
Big circle of the
Yeah,
black.
I like that. I like the contrast with it. So that's why I won't go for that as the S. I would say that is a low A, and then I would give the X a higher A. If that makes sense.
All I'm saying is, if we're ranking this one, I feel like we should have gone back and ranked the other 360s and shit for the S specifically.
Yeah, but these are different SKUs.
But the other ones didn't change in power. This one, these did.
No, the S didn't. I thought the X did, but the S didn't.
Well, the S just became like the newer version, which I guess is kind of a variant. But like, I don't think you can rank the X without the S. I think it just kind of has to be that
That's
way.
interesting. That's interesting.
Also, the other generations of like 360s, Roger, were also technically different SKUs.
They were different SKUs, but they like this.
Sure.
You weren't buying this one for
this one. I would say
more
A.
power or whatever.
Makes sense.
You would say what?
A.
A for the S?
Yeah.
I'll go with that too.
So me and Andy
Look at
say
the
S.
list. Yeah, I freaking love this thing, dude.
Chat, what are y'all saying? S or A for
It's-
the 1S?
It's like the perfect area of other consoles look so basic that I don't like them, and this one looks so basic that I love it.
A. Well, here comes some S's. A. Yeah, A's have it.
No, they don't. It's
Yes,
very mixed.
no.
Barrett, what do you say?
No, I agree. I feel like we're getting a lot of mixed B's and S's, but it's a lot of A's.
Why I love this is what reminds me of why I love an upcoming console, the PS4. I love just like that two-tone nature of the grading with the sort of solid side on the other. Like
And the
it's
PS5 white, yeah,
it
absolutely.
looks so clean, bro.
So
I don't
it's
know.
top of A. then.
Top of A. Top of A.
Top of it?
Yep.
All right.
Okay, I'll roll him.
Then we have the Xbox One X.
I think this is a better looking console than the S.
Not a chance.
The One X would go
It's
bottom
literally
A for
just
me.
a PS2. It's a slim looking.
Yeah, look how good that
version of
looks.
the
I mean, I love
PS2.
this
It's just
thing.
so
looks
beautiful.
so
I love it,
fucking
but
good.
it lacks the style that the PS2 has.
But it's
this
all-
is just all it needs to be. But
It's
I
all of
put
the
it
right
bottom of A.
shapes. This is like all of the right sizes
Look
and
how tiny it
proportions
is.
of rectangles that needed to be done to make a console just look sleek enough. And it's so basic, and I fucking love it for that.
Me too.
This is
Do you
low
S
A
love
for
it?
me.
Yeah, low A.
Low A or high B?
End of A for me.
Oh, well, no, you know what? This goes over the Genesis for me, for fucking sure.
But not over the 1S.
No,
Interesting.
because I love the halftone nature of the 1S and the white with the black.
So we're putting it.
Bottom A.
Yeah, but
Below the 360.
I'd
No,
bump it up. I'd
above
bump it up
that.
one. There we are.
Yeah.
That was good, man.
Yeah.
Atari 2600, what are you doing here?
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. The wood
Should move it
paneling.
up.
Try
Should
to
move it up
stop you.
one.
Try to
Should move
stop
it up
you.
I
one.
told you we'd feel this way. Yeah.
And then we have the Wii U. I hate this fucking thing. Again, this reminds me.
dumb
The
bitch.
Wii U is the PS3 of the Wii situation, where it's like, oh hey, we had an amazing thing with the previous one. Let's just fuck it up in every way possible. I hate the Wii U. It's
Yeah.
going.
And I never think of the console itself, right? You always
Nope.
think about
Think of
the
the pad.
actual, controller, but you look at the console, it's like I don't like this.
I
at
think
all.
about it too
I feel
much.
nothing for it.
I'd put it F personally, but
Yeah, honestly, I think
I could go top
it's
of the F
offensive,
tier.
man.
I'm
It's an
down for that
offensive
too.
console.
Totally down.
It's
for
no
that.
Vectrix, but it ain't good.
F for like I don't think it's
Too late.
that
We've moved
bad.
on.
But
It's
here's
done.
my thing. I think it is because of how much it fucked up how S tier the Wii was. Like, I feel like you get rid of the GameCube ports, you add all these curbs that are unnecessary.
And
Like,
it's clearly not the focus, right? Like they put the focus on the actual controller, so this feels like an afterthought in every single way.
It does look like kind of an add-on.
Yeah.
and then
I would
go
put
for it.
that a D for me or some shit. I don't know.
Because remember, like, we have the 3DO, we have the TurboGrafx 16, the Channel F, the Vectrix.
There's no way this thing goes below the CDI by Philips.
It's funny
It
because we
goes-
just voted and it did.
It goes
So you've
above
lost the floor, sir.
This goes above the PS3. Think about it. Look at what without just saying the thing. Look at
the
the
PS3.
yeah.
No,
fucking shapeless little box nobody cared about. No.
That's the bottom of D
I don't
tier.
know if I
I'll
can
relent to the
argue
bottom
above
of D tier.
PS3, but just like look at what else we have in D tier, and then look at F tier.
No way it goes below the Saturn.
Because I feel like we're getting our personal feelings in the way of like what the Wii U did to the Wii brand in general, and how much of a flop it was of just an idea.
Thank you.
I'm
Barrett.
talking about the
Looking
design.
at the design of it.
No,
it's
because
not,
it's the design of the Wii where it's like you can have it vertical, you can have it on the side. Like there was so much versatility there, and they took that away because of the stupid curves. I'm not. The design of the Wii U it's worse.
I love
in
how
every way.
I love how compact it is. And Barrett, if you could just bring
But
up
it's
an
not,
image,
it's a chunker.
If you could just bring up the little
The Wii
thing?
U?
the little fucker.
The Wii U compared to the Wii.
Are you talking about but we're not comparing it to the Wii. We're just comparing it to how it looks on its own. I don't care that the Wii
like,
was
look
way
at the
better.
CDI. Look at the Intellivision.
Look at the Sega
color
Saturn.
font.
That thing sucks. The Philips CDI sucks even more. There's no way that this little tiny, black, sleek, glossy box, now I'm acting like it's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
But like, come on, it's not worse than those things.
I would put it at the bottom of D tier.
I love the compactness of it. Put a handle on it, A-ring.
That's true. That's true. Then it invites play. You know what I mean? Think about that. Think about
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? F or D?
I'm fine with D.
We already voted. It's F, top of the F tier. It's done. We've moved.
I
on.
think that's fun.
We didn't vote.
We did. We voted. We had the votes. Well, I mean, I'm
Greg
already
and I
drafting
voted.
my tweet here about Andy filibustering. All right, it's all right.
Sega Saturn, man. That thing sucks.
That's cool.
It's a good place.
Then we have the Switch.
No, yeah, we're not doing the Ouya.
Like,
Not doing the Ouya?
I mean,
Switch
the
is
Ouya
hard.
would be pretty high. You know what I mean? It's a nice little console.
Switch is a weird one.
Switch is cool if you have like cool Joy-Cons.
Yeah. But they give you that option. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
part of the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, and I wonder.
But if we're gonna grade, like we graded the N64 on the base look, you know, if we're grading the Switch, like we got to think about the base dock and then the base either gray Joy-Cons or the red and blue ones.
I hate the dock.
the dock
I
would be
love
cool.
the blue and red Joy-Cons. I love the saturation and brightness of them. But man, that dock is ugly as hell.
And
When they came out with the second version of the dock, much cooler and sleeker. But still not awesome looking.
And we also have to talk about like the functionality of it all. I know we're not talking about the actual things that it's doing on the screen, but like the fact that boom, you're playing a thing, right? Like and also the tactile feel of sliding
Yeah.
it in. I think this is a really solid top of B maybe or even A.
Top of B. Wow.
But this is what we're judging, what we're seeing on screen
Yeah,
right
yes.
now.
And
A
I-
docked Switch.
And I love the blue and red Joy-Cons. I think that's great. It pops. It's simple. It's sleek. It specifically because it's going for something so different, like the hybrid handheld and home console. Like I think that it does a really great job.
I think the dock lowers it more for me, but I would put this in the B somewhere. I think those Joy-Cons look so damn fucking cool. The shapes chosen for the buttons, the roundness of everything.
I'd probably go somewhere in C.
I would say C as well, and I feel like I'm behind on the argument here because if it's docked like this, you're talking about the controllers, but the controllers would be in your hand. So we wouldn't be talking about the controllers anymore
Sure, I
based
get
on
what
how
you're
we've
saying.
talked about it before.
Pro controller.
Yeah, or I mean, if they were popped off, if they're on but using a pro controller, then it's just the visuals of this. At which point, I feel like it just looks like a charging station. Don't get me wrong. The Switch
Yeah.
is a handheld, fucking goated, and there's a different conversation to have there about everything.
But we're talking specifically as the home.
If we're talking about
console
it as ranking
variation.
consoles and it being a console, I think it's a C.
You know, that's a
'cause
great point.
I think
Yeah,
it
but
just
see, but my thing there is
And
like,
if
I
one
feel
of
like it
your-
displays better than a lot of the other ones. Like being able to change out the Joy-Cons and have it be like somewhere because it has to be stood up. It is in a different place in your home entertainment system. Like I think it looks nicer than a lot of the modern consoles.
And if you
these
dropped
days.
the Joy-Con in your spaghetti and you got sauce all over it, the Joy-Con would look uglier.
That's true.
We're getting too semantical with all this.
you're
Is that
right.
a word?
It's a C. We have the votes. Let's move.
I know. I like this. No, I like this.
Are you gonna call to ask for more votes in Virginia or some
Listen,
shit?
we were done. We had solved what we were arguing about, and then you're like, "Well, I'm going to filibuster more." It goes from an F to a D now.
I
to
like
Wii U.
Greg's argument, where if potentially this episode does well and we do another episode with handhelds, we redo it again because I think it would be a way higher version of it on handheld. But as a home console, I don't know.
I put it below the N64 and above the Xbox One.
Okay.
It's
I can see
clean
that.
and
Yeah.
simple in its execution of what
I'm
it's
cool with
trying
that.
to do.
I'm cool with that.
And also the clicking noise.
Yeah. Switch.
That's the
Then yeah, we do have the Ouya, which
It's a cool design.
we're
It
not
was a
it's
cool
a
idea.
cool design.
It was a cool idea, like just a little square little thing that you just kind of live there, and it was like I don't know. It was a cool idea.
It looked
I
like
liked
you would put like potpourri slots in there
Yeah.
to kind of make it
I
make
don't
the
love
room
it.
smell good.
I would probably give it a D tier if I really think about it, but I just like the novelty of it.
I give it an F.
Yeah, this to me is like pretty much as low as you can
Yeah.
get.
Like it doesn't. Look
I mean, it's
It
no.
looks like it's
vector.
makes me
upside
wanna
down.
play.
Nah,
Yeah.
never mind. Now the more I look at it,
Yeah. Let's go.
yeah,
F.
fuck the Ouya.
But where in the F? Where in the F? Are
Where
we
in the
putting
F?
I'll
this
put it a second to last.
I like the font.
Oh, they said wearing the F. Like, were you?
We're gonna find it. We're gonna find every Wii out there.
Yeah, okay. I
I'm
like
gonna
that.
put it on there.
There we go.
I like that.
Then we get into some good ones, baby. The PlayStation 4.
You want to talk about two-tone, that glossy top thing for no
Baby, this is
reason.
S is all fuck.
It's S is all.
This
fuck,
is
baby.
S
See an
as
image.
all
Let me see an
fuck.
image.
The
PS4.
blue line down the middle.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Get out of town.
Orange when she's sleeping.
God, yeah.
Don't wake when she's sleeping.
This is like, I think this is maybe the best looking console ever.
Wow.
Wow.
Honestly,
I love this
Andy,
fucking thing.
I'm
Look
there
at it.
with you.
Look at that. And again, simple in design, right? Not a lot going on, but it has the iconic Sony logo, like you're talking about, the iconic PlayStation logo, the PlayStation 4 logo.
It would be much more boring if they didn't have the tilt.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's there, it makes it so much more interesting. It's the two-tone, bro.
I will say someone brings it up in chat of the practicality, the on-off button and how slim it is next to the eject button was always very annoying.
Definitely a problem.
Yeah, and I also did not like the vents in the back because it was hard for me to figure out where my HDMI was always going because I was always putting on other
fair,
things.
fair.
So like, I know that's part of this, right?
I think
A
that's
little
every
bit.
console, though. I don't
But
know.
like specifically the fact that it was like square almost, like I don't know, I would always like touch it and like go to different places. It was never
get
never
what you're saying,
intuitive.
Raj.
I would think this is high A for me. I don't think this is S2. It's not my favorite PlayStation console. I look at the other S tier consoles here and I'm like, yeah, I think it's a lesser PS2 in my opinion.
So that's my problem. I think it's S tier, but I think that it doesn't hit the highs of the PS2 or the Wii in what they're going for. It's kind of combining both of those.
Yeah.
But I would put it. I'd put this above the GameCube.
I can get down with that. Behind Wii, above GameCube.
I can get down with that.
Then we have.
Damn attractive console, I'll tell you what.
Let's jump over to.
Are you doing the pros or no?
You want to?
I
Let's
mean,
go for
we
it.
did the 1S and the X.
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
it's the
like
one
PlayStation 4
S's
Pro?
that I just
Now-
I don't want to. I'm just saying I
We
think
should do the Pro PS4 because I want to say something. I fucking hate this console.
I think the
here
Pro is
we
like a
go.
D or a C for me.
I hate the PS4 Pro. I don't like the fact that it looks like a Photoshop job. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, we just put two of them on top of it. Done. It's Pro.
Yeah, I
it's
hate
ugly
it.
as hell. I
like
think it's a
it
D.
became a meme because of
Yes,
that. You know,
it sucks.
I hate
I don't
it.
think it's that big of a problem. I agree that it's like nowhere near that as cool as the others, but like I don't think this is like a Wii to Wii U type situation. I would put this at like, probably just like a C because it's inoffensive. But
I'm down to go C. Yeah, I really don't like what they did with it. I thought they could. I bet you on the cutting room floor there were way cooler versions of
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down C as well. I would say behind the 7800 in front of the Neo Geo.
I would personally put it below the PS3, but you know, my vote doesn't matter.
yeah, I'm with Greg here. Below the Atari. Yeah.
Good job.
Then we got the. There's so many handhelds, you guys.
Jesus Christ.
You're into orange
On
on
my,
my screen.
I think the next one is the Series S.
The Xbox Series S, which I enjoyed. Roger and I were talking about this
Love
a
this
second
little
ago
guy.
here.
I love it.
enjoy. I love how small it is. I just do not love the big black circle. I think that this is just a less attractive version of the Xbox One S.
Oh, I love my little guy.
See, I think he's more attractive personally.
Yeah.
I like the personality of him. I like how tiny he is. I got the all black one at my desk. I was just updating today for some stuff. I would put it top of A personally.
I agree with that as well. And I think we're going back to, it's not an X, right? It's not an X for an Xbox, but I like the circular nature with the logo of the Xbox. I think it's solid. I think that's an A.
See, I get where you're going with there, Roger, but then design the like X into the circle or something.
Sure.
right? It looks so weird and awkward, and how it's like, I don't know.
I
Every
don't-
time I look at this thing, I'm like, what the fuck are they going?
The
for?
fact that it's not a speaker,
Yeah,
right?
it's
That's
weird.
it looks like it should be a speaker.
I go bottom A, not fully bottom A, but like towards the bottom of
I
A.
think it's B.
I like it, but I don't love it. I'd put it somewhere like in B or low, like maybe low B for me.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
guess I'd
Looking
have
at
to
this, the bottom of B, under the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, 1000%. Oh, this is the perfect
You know,
placement for it.
yeah.
Below
that's good.
SNES, above Dreamcast.
I like that.
Now we have the Xbox Series X, the tower. Let's try something different, y'all.
Tower.
Did it pay off?
No.
No,
No, fuck that
No.
one.
it did not.
I hate
A
It
very
really did not.
unexciting system that just sits there,
And it's,
which they all do. But it's just
it is so
just
weird
sits
that
there.
It's disruptive.
to me, it's just such a weird choice. I mean, we could talk about like the going from Xbox One to this, and I was so sure that they were going to try something a little bit different, a little bit more exciting, but they did not.
Anytime
whatever.
Anytime I see images of this thing photoshopped where there's green at the top, almost kind of like emitting from
I love that.
want that reality, but that isn't the reality. And
Well, one of them has that.
but like like lights, like
Oh,
people.
oh,
yeah,
not
it has painting or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, I don't know. This is kind of one of those inoffensive ones to me. I just don't love it at all. This would be like C for me, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't make me angry like the Xbox One. So I'd put it at C as well.
The problem with this one for me is that it's just the design of it, the shape of it gets in the way of the places you're putting it. Like it does not look good next to the other things. And even when you put it on its side, it just seems wrong. It's like it takes up an inappropriate amount of space. So I think because of that function problem, like it's pretty damn low to me. I put it top of D.
Ooh.
Wow. I'm firmly in the middle of C.
I can, in no good conscience, put this below the Atari Jaguar.
That's true. That's a good call.
Maybe not even the Neo Geo, but I'd put it low C somewhere. I think below the PlayStation Pro.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4
No.
See, I put it above the Pro and below the 7800.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I like this. I like the buffer between the Xbox One and the Atari. I just like the buffer. I like the buffer.
There's enough space there to feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. I feel good about this. What do you guys feel?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think it's a good slot for it. C rank for
I like it.
Xbox Series X.
Then we got PlayStation 5.
The best looking console as voted by the kind of funny
Absolutely.
audience.
It is.
I think just on that, we don't even have to vote. The people have spoken. Put it in S.
It's an S tier, everybody. It is an S tier. It is a beautiful fucking console. I love my PlayStation 5 so much. I love looking at it. I have an all-white entertainment center, of course, like you do. I think it's gorgeous. I love the lights bleeding from it. It is a spaceship of a console, and I'm happy that they're doing it in Astrobot. I'm happy that they're making that an actual spaceship because it is a gorgeous design, and I was so blown away by the actual reveal of it. I'm happy to have it in my home entertainment system, and I can't believe that people fucking hate this console. I really can't believe it.
This does so much that I should love, and I just don't love the shapes that they went with.
with you,
The
Andy.
aspects of everything that put together the console, fucking phenomenal. The two tones, the blue lights, everything on paper looks like I should love this thing. But it's the shapes, it's the lips that they chose. It's a burger trying to eat something in the middle.
It's needing the freaking stand.
And here's what I'll say. The reissue, the slim version of the reissue with that slit down the center, I love that so much more. If that was the main one, I would have said
Because you know what that's bumping off of, Andy, is the PS4.
PS4. Yeah, that little slit down the little center. This is like I don't hate this one as much as I say that I do, but I don't like it, and I would say this is probably around a C for me.
Any way you want to put it, you need that fucking stand. It's like you need to put the stand if you want to put it sideways, because the fucking the side panels like feel too flimsy to just have it rest on its own.
Well, it's also a ventilation thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, if they said
ventilation as
PS5,
well.
that's
but
what
it's
it
just-
is, I'd be like,
the way
oof.
it's designed, it's just
like it
so
more.
awkward and weird. Like
Smaller lips.
I'm not offended by it, but it's just like, oh man, we could have done so much better here.
I don't mean to derail the conversation. I'm going to be completely honest, y'all. I've never used that vertical stand, and I just didn't know until just now that I needed it. So I've just been kind of...
Jesus
that's-
fucking
And it looks way better, y'all. It looks way better. So maybe that's where my S tier's coming from. But yeah, no, I love this console.
This goes towards the bottom of B for me. Like this is above the Xbox Series S, but this doesn't touch the Super Nintendo or NES or Xbox, I think.
They made the right choice with the slim version to give it smaller lips. Them lips are just them labias are gigantic up there, man. I don't like the way it looks.
No, it looks like a pop collar almost. I think it's sick. I think it's sick looking.
I love that it has an identity.
Me too.
I love that it made these choices. I love that it's fucking weird and stuff. I
It's just
personally,
so big.
it is so big, which I also appreciate.
Do you?
I do. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't get in the way of my home entertainment system. The only time it annoyed me was when I couldn't bring it on planes easily.
Yeah.
But now I got
So why do you like it being big then?
It's a statement piece for the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Like, I like that they liked it and made it
Status
fucking
symbol.
weird and
No,
goofy.
you're right.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly how I feel. Like it is like the center of my entertainment center.
They were like, we know this is going to be the console of the generation. Make it weird as fuck and put it there and make people stare at it and make it look like nothing we've done before and all these different
It
things.
feels like a big dick move going from the PS4 to this one. They're like, no, we know you're going to buy this one, and we wanted to fucking everyone to
But
look
it
at
also,
it when you
feels
join the thing.
snobby in a way that I just don't like.
What I
feels
really
premium.
What I really don't like is where we're going to be able to put this thing, because it is going to be so close to a Super Nintendo, and it doesn't belong there.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't belong near where, like, if it sounds like wherever this nets out, it's probably going to be like the bottom of B tier. I would put this at the top of C tier above Dreamcast.
wow.
I'm cool with that.
I think this is better than the 360, so I put it A. Below the 1X maybe. And this is me, like I truly believe it's an S. But if we're playing the game here,
And I would get behind Roger and do that. I would go with him. A.
So it's
above 360.
So it's either going to be A above 360 or top of C.
Chat, Sound off, A or C.
Or Barrett's a tiebreaker.
Also, too many people say that they have fucking cool routers. You don't have a cool router that looks like this, okay? You keep on saying router. You don't have a fucking awesome router like this.
Sounds like you're lashing out.
You
Barrett, you
wish.
can call
You
the
wish.
chat.
You wish, chat.
It's moving. Congratulations. Thanks for everybody watching and hanging out with us. It does seem actually pretty split.
It's split
It's
with a
split.
bunch of different things.
Toss some
too.
polls in there.
Oh, can we do a poll? Yeah.
I can do a YouTube one, Barrett, if you want to do a Twitch one.
What are the options that were?
A or C.
A or C?
Okay.
Do we split the difference?
No.
No, I don't feel good about that.
We've done
That's
it for
not-
other
that's
ones.
not-
No, but
That's not
this one's
justice.
important.
This one,
one's
yeah, this
important.
one.
But
needs
the
to- yeah.
This is everything.
At one time, Greg put
There's a reason I made this episode.
Well, hold on. No, at one point, Greg said, "Throw it to Barrett. You're the tiebreaker," and now he's not the tiebreaker because he knows Barrett doesn't like this.
That's not. No.
100%.
No. At some point, we did deviate to chat, and so I want to keep with
But
that.
then
'cause I'm
other
like,
times we did have me as the tiebreaker.
Hey.
Fucking pick a lane.
I'm not hosting the show, all right? I don't know.
I want the voice of the people for this one. So I want to see where we're
YouTube
at.
chat is up. It's going.
It is going
Fuck is
now.
Genesis that high?
Belongs there.
Haunting the
Genesis
list.
is a beautiful console. You look at it. You look at
So
it real close.
sick.
It's just a magnifying glass. Really look at it.
As the chat's going right now, we do have the A rank winning at 58%.
That's on YouTube. Are you doing a Twitch one, Barrett?
Yes, the A rank is currently winning at 52%.
There you go.
There we go. I mean, I feel like that's enough for me.
I feel good about that.
call
I feel
it.
happy.
We'll
There you
Calling
go.
it now.
So we're putting it A above 360.
Above the 360.
I agree with
below
that.
the Xbox One X.
That's
I'll let it
awful.
be.
Oh, it's 50-50. Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold
Oh, it's
on.
just the Twitch. You know, the YouTube.
Once
figured it
again,
out.
look what I'm
Tim
talking
is
about.
still
Yeah.
running away.
C is winning 90 to 91. Oh, now A just took the lead 91-92. Now C took the lead 92-91.
On YouTube, A's never looked
Yeah,
up.
close.
It's not close anymore.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
you
close,
know,
everybody.
I mean, you read the comments, so that they say a lot of
I
mean
know,
things about
I
me too.
know.
Yeah.
So,
Twitch audience
so
will
here
like
we
you more.
I'm
have
just glad it's not an S tier.
we have our list, everybody, from S tier to F tier. Every single console ranked by looks.
Read them off, Tim.
At number 1, S tier, we have PlayStation 2, and then PlayStation 1, the Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 4, and GameCube. I ain't mad at it at the end
Yeah,
of the
that's
day.
good. That's a solid one.
A tier, we have the Xbox One S, the Sega Genesis, the Atari 2600, the Xbox One X, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox 360.
I feel good.
Feel okay. I feel,
I feel
okay.
good.
B tier, the original Xbox, the NES, the SNES, and the Xbox Series S. C tier, the Dreamcast, the Nintendo 64, Nintendo Switch, docked, the Microsoft Xbox One, the Atari 7800, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Neo Geo, the Jaguar, and the Magnavox Odyssey. D tier, PlayStation 3, Saturn, CDI, Intellivision, Telestar Colortron, Master System, Commodore 64, Pong, the Atari 5200, the Nintendo Wii U, and then F tier, the 3DO,
That thing sucks.
the TurboGrafx 16, the ColecoVision, the Channel F, Ouya, and Vectrex.
Man, oh yeah.
We went
To
through a
end this
journey.
episode, I want each one of us. What's up?
We said at the beginning of the thing
Yeah.
that we could prune,
Yeah.
and that because I was the founder of the channel, I could move one thing up if I wanted to. We
Oh,
said
we said that. Oh, wow.
So I just want to take the PSP
What I'm
go.
gonna say-
PSP go to the top of the S rank.
What I want to end with is each one of us. It's not going to affect the list, but if there was one change you would be able to make, just one change, what would it be?
It's the easiest change of my life is the Genesis being anywhere close to the top.
See, do I go with love or do I go with hate? And I'm gonna go with hate. Xbox One F tier. Fuck that console.
And I would take Genesis to the S rank.
I wouldn't even be mad at that. But no, no, no. We
can do it right now. We can do it right
I like
now.
the list where it is.
That'd be awesome.
Andy saying what the Genesis is surrounded by. I get what you're saying.
Thank you, Barrett.
The change I
I
would
got
make.
Barrett's vote. He's been the tiebreaker this whole time.
No,
That
I was
means we
saying
got
I'm with
3-2.
I'm saying I was with Andy.
No,
it
shut
should
your
be
mic's
lower.
cutting out. It's okay. Barrett's with us.
The thing that upsets me most about this list is the Magnavox Odyssey. That thing should be lower. That thing should be way
Yeah.
fucking lower.
Yeah.
No,
you're
because here's the
right.
thing. I look at the Odyssey, and if you were to ask me, will Tim love this or hate this? I'd say he'd love it.
But that's the thing. You look at it here, it's like, oh, Tim would love it. But then you see the actual picture, and it's not black. It's brown.
Honestly, and with the Odyssey, it's like I look at that, I'm like, is that even a fucking console? At least with the PS3, with how poorly it's designed, I'm like, hey, that's a video game console.
Yeah, but the PS3, it's like you had all the power to do something sick,
And they
and
made
you
all the
really,
wrong
really
calls.
fucking dropped the ball.
Oh, man, everybody. Let us know in the comments below how much you perfectly agree with this perfect list. Or if you disagree, you don't need to tell us about it. But if you wanted to, you can leave your list. Leave your options. What would you put as S rank? What would you put as F rank? All of that
at
stuff.
Game Over Greg.
Please tweet everything at Game
Welcome
Over
to.
Greggy.
Don't forget, you're welcome to call in. If you have something, this could be your hot take. 573-20 flesh to leave us your hot takes.
We're about to stream some fun stuff, a little football action, college football action. But until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.